Are you basically saying that to
Faith,
men,
I don't know
because
why
she
you're
had a
getting
child,
louder. I don't
she
know why
can't
you're
have a
getting
better life?
louder.
No, because you spoke over me, so I'm
Yeah,
going to
because
finish
I
my
want to
point, and then you
interject.
can say what you want to say.
You need to
You
calm
can't
down.
interject until someone's
No,
done.
it's my
You need
panel.
to
I
have
can
some
interject.
manners
You need
and
to
some
relax.
rules
Listen,
when you have.
listen. You really got to relax, okay? There's no point getting amped up. There's no point getting hyped up. All right? It's a TikTok live debate. Chill. I don't know why a lot of Fefails get triggered over a prompt.
Because you're very patriarchal, babe. This is such a
Okay, then
patriarchal,
there's no point getting
like,
triggered over that.
female
But it doesn't
demoralizing.
matter. It doesn't mean you get
But
triggered
you
over
are clearly
that.
not coming from a feminist perspective,
No,
babe.
I'm
You're
not a
coming from a
feminist. I
patriarchal perspective
never said I was
where
anything.
men are able to oppress women. Why would a single mother be more, like, less desirable? I'm not a single mother, and I don't have a single mother. I have my mom and my dad. But I just think it's very unfair on people to do something like that and say because they have a child or they're single or they've let their womb out, they're now least desired and their life is finished. That's very unfair. That's a very
Okay,
unfair
so
thing to
when I
say.
said
Are
about
you
the
saying they should now
criminals,
end their lives?
are you gonna
Should
let
they end their
me? Are you
lives
going to let me?
because
Are you going to let
they
me
have a
respond to
child?
you? Because you're just going on.
You can answer my question.
I'm responding to
That's what
you.
I thought. All
Okay.
right, you can continue.
So the reality is, when I say that single moms are raising criminals, that is a fact. Majority of people who are incarcerated in the UK and in the US come from a single mom household. Now, of course, there are going to be criminals that come from a two-parent household, but what's the majority? The majority come from single mom households. The majority of degenerates, the uncivilized people in society, come from a single mom household. So that's what you have. Hold on, that's what you have happening in society, which is the least desired outcome for anyone and anyone's child or daughter or son. So there's no
So
point
you're
getting
saying to
triggered
me
by
right
that.
now, Rema, I'm not triggered. You're saying to me right now, Rema, that single mom households produce the most criminals.
Yes. That's exactly what I'm
So
saying.
Jeffrey Dahmer came from a cereal box family, and he was a serial killer that did
Unaliving.
horrific stuff to
Say
people.
unaliving.
So okay, unaliving. What is your justification for that now? Why do you
Okay.
not talk about two-parent households and the dysfunction
Hold
that goes
on,
on within
because
that?
majority,
You can't just hone in on one aspect and not hone in on the other aspect. That's not fair.
majority come from a single mom household. Now, if majority of criminals, majority of people that were incarcerated came from a two-parent household, then trust the conversation would be a lot different. I wouldn't even be talking about that. Now the conversation will be, why are mothers and fathers creating majority of criminals? But that's not what's happening in society. What's happening is single moms are the ones who are creating criminals in society, not two-parent households.
So what does that now have to do with desirability?
Everything. The reality is,
I honed in on the fact about crime, about sociology, or you've read books, you would understand that this was a fact that he stated. So now you're
I
saying
don't care what the fact that
is
he
what
stated.
single
No,
moms don't have.
crimes
Why are
are
you
not
now linking
needed.
it to crime? Let's talk about one fact, because you're now just going down a rabbit hole and a loophole.
How am I going down a rabbit hole? Single moms are the least desired, and one of the reasons why is because their children, their sons and daughters, either come out to be community boxers or criminals. It does make sense. It does make sense. Of course
So
I
you're
do.
saying a single mother who might have had a child at 18, made a mistake, got around with a bad man, but she's now 20 years of age, she's gone to uni, fixing her life up now. Her 2-year-old child is now going to end up to be a criminal, and after she's found somebody that loves her, or she might fix her life around. What comical sense does that make? You might think I'm being triggered, but I'm just coming from a passionate perspective of, like, you can't box people in, because not everybody ends up how you expect them to be. You can feel like single mums aren't desired, but somebody might find that, very attractive and nice. Everyone's cup of tea is different. You can't say because you feel this way, somebody else might feel that way, or somebody else does feel that way. You can have your debate, but that's just what I wanted to come and say and express to you. But yeah, a lot of other people might also agree with my perspective as well. But I'm not here to hate. I just wanted to ask one more question. What should these single mothers do that are now less desirable to become desirable, since that's the aim of this?
Oh, they will never become desirable. They failed. The only thing they can do now, hold on, you want me to answer, but then you interrupt me every time I answer. And that's why I say you're triggered. There's nothing that you can do or I can do to help failure. The only thing these Fefails, hold on.
You two, hold on.
Okay? Listen, Faith, I don't know what is wrong with you, but every time I speak about Fefails, I get a lot of rowdy hyenas on my live. Exactly, it's my live. So you need to relax. Because you asked me a question and all I'm doing is trying to answer it. All right? I get it. I'm not Tyrone. I'm not the man that pounded you like... I'm not the man who pounded you like a yam and left you in the streets, okay?
And so
you are right now. You're acting like a loud hyena. You're cackling on my live, asking me questions, and then you don't want me to answer you. Okay? Is it my fault that men have pounded you and left you in the streets? That is not my fault. Is it my fault that you're a community box? It's not my fault. Is it my fault that all you do is wear a weave on your head? It's not my fault. So don't project that anger on me. Okay, don't project that anger on me. It is not my fault. Single moms are 304s. It is not my fault that single moms are community boxes. You need to accept that, Faith. You need to accept that, Faith. Accept the fact that single moms are community boxes, and you are triggered because there's nothing you can do about it. You are triggered that there's nothing that you can be able to change that. Do you understand? Thank you. Accept it. Before requesting on my live, be ready to hear things you don't want to hear.
Is this an argument or what? I'm confused.
It's a debate, but a lot of Fefails get triggered.
So if it's a debate, why are you insulting? I'm confused.
Because I can. Now, are you going to address the prompt?
How's that a debate if you're insulting? Does that make sense?
Okay, before...
Anyway, so what is your question?
It's not a question. Single moms are the least desired. Do you agree? Yes or no?
No, I don't agree.
Why?
Because why would they be the least desired?
They are the least desired because they are failures. That's why.
Oh, so you're angry at single moms?
Not so angry, more so disgusted.
Oh, that's a bit harsh.
Oh, well... Degeneracy is going to have a harsh consequence to it.
How old are you?
I'm 100.
You're what?
So, 100.
Oh,
so why do you think that single moms are not the least desired?
Because how can you say that someone is the least desired because they're doing what they're meant to do, which is taking care of their child? How does that make any sense?
I don't think they're doing what they're meant to do. If they did, then they would have made sure.
Care of their child, what do you mean?
Okay, if they were doing what they were meant to do, then they would have kept their legs closed and made sure to find a man that was going to marry them instead of popping out a mistake.
There's those situations where the man will step out because of his own views and his own reasons. It's not because of the woman all the time.
I mean, yes, the man has every right to step out if he's not the husband. If this man has not committed to you and said, I want you to be my wife and I am going to make it my duty.
In every scenario, the woman is married and stays with the man.
No, not every scenario.
Right, so your point doesn't make sense.
It does make sense because the number one reason why single moms end up being single moms is because they've never been married. That's the number one reason. So what you really have is a lot of these Fefails who are popping out babies outside of wedlock.
No, it doesn't.
And then shocked that the man...
I'll even give you
and then shocked...
No, I hear it.
Hold on. And then shocked that the man doesn't want to be a father.
No, but it is shocking.
How is that shocking?
It is shocking because I'll give you an example. My dad and my mom were married. They were the ones that were married, actually. And my dad went on haywire and he left my mom because he was doing a madness.
Okay, then. So your dad, I understand. But your dad is not the majority because in the UK, the divorce rates initiated by women is 60%. In the US, it's 70%. So yeah, there is a small percentage of men who leave their wives. Now, if the husband leaves their wife, I'm not going to blame the wife because she did what she was supposed to do, is stay committed in that marriage and do her wifely duties. Although majority of women are not doing that. They are the ones initiating divorce and choosing to break up their families. And that's why there's no point talking about a minority when majority are women.
I hear you. But I feel like you're slandering single mothers. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I'm going to, because it's degeneracy.
Okay. I hear
You don't uplift failure.
I don't think
You
it's
have to
about.
call it out for what it is.
Do you know because in life, right, you're gonna witness a lot of single mothers. I feel like working together to make sure that they better themselves rather than stay in their situation. Like you see certain single moms, they'll be sitting down doing nothing. I feel like if you know, motivate them to do something with themselves, then that's what creates positivity. I feel like you saying that they're failures, it doesn't really make sense. Do you know what I mean? You just sound like you're just trying to insult them for no reason.
I mean, Kaya, it's 2026, right?
Yeah.
Now, the first wave of feminism happened around, I think, like 1900s, and then and then you got the second wave of feminism happening in the 1960s. So we're in 2026 right now. What else could you do to tell these Fefails that have been told everything, that have every autonomy, every right, every choice to make? We have every information out there, every access to books, from post-colonial, post-bravery to now the few. What every information is out there. How is it that the one simple and logical thing, which is keep your legs closed, they can't even do?
Who do you think makes the most single mothers, like age group wise?
The most from the stat that I read, it's between the ages of, in the BLK community, it's between the ages of 30s and 40s. From the last stat that I read.
Those make up the most single mothers.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it'd be younger.
So the reality is, me saying what I'm saying it doesn't really change anything, because they've had their autonomy from 1960s. This is when the sexual liberation happened. When women were able to be on contraception, have AB rights, have as many intercourse as they wanted, practically do everything that men are doing. We're in 2026 now. What more can people do?
Yeah.
That is a question. What more can people do?
I don't know.
Exactly. And this is why they are failures. They were born to be failures. Because if you have every right and you live in Western society where majority of women have more privilege than anyone else in the world, anyone else in a second or third world country, they have the most rights and they are the most privileged, and you still ended up being a failure.
Right. You know, like sometimes
Yes.
you say things that make sense and then you go back on yourself and say things that don't.
No. Are you saying that women in the
Women are
UK and
not
the
the most
US, hold on.
privileged.
No, they are. In Western
that.
society, they are. Okay, let me ask you a question. Do you think a woman from the UK has more rights than a woman in the Middle East, or less?
Obviously more, but we don't have.
That's my point. That's my point, is that women in the first world country, which is a Western society, have more rights than women in a second world country and a third world country.
Well, what difference does that make to our situation?
It makes a huge difference, because you have more control over your autonomy, and now you can be able to exercise better standards than other women. Other women are forced to have better standards. They're forced. You ain't.
Okay.
And somehow they still make degenerate choices. It's clearly a big female problem, not society, not the patriarchy, not men. It's outright clear that it's females who choose this.
But single mothers still get with people that don't have children and they create a perfect family household. So I feel like your statement, it still doesn't make sense. Like you saying they're not desirable doesn't make sense because they're still getting with people that don't even have children. So what sense does that make? It just comes across as
Majority,
an insult for you.
yeah, majority don't get married. There's only a small percent that actually does.
And what's that
Because if you take a look at if you look at the marriage rates are the lowest it ever has been. So if single moms were truly getting married, the marriage rate would go up naturally. It doesn't matter who it is. It would go up
Yeah.
because they're getting married. But there's not enough of them getting married.
But not everyone wants to
And-
get married though. You understand that?
Yeah, I understand not everyone, but majority of women do. Majority of females do. You know, it's natural to
You-
want to
you wanna
be
get
with
married?
someone. It's not about me.
You want to get married?
It's not about me.
I'm asking you a question. Do you want to get married?
I know. Okay, let me make this
You
clear.
don't wanna
I'm not
get
going to
married.
answer that question.
Exactly. If you don't want to get married, then how are you going to make up the percentage of people that
Because if you take a look at the stats, you take a look at between the ages of 18 and 39, women are more likely to look for a committed relationship. Now, when they're in their 40s and up, that's when they just don't really care about marriage anymore. So age definitely does play a part in it when women are more looking to be in a serious relationship, but there's more actual women who are looking to be in a serious relationship than men,
who told you this?
especially between that age.
Where are you getting these stats though? I actually don't know where you're getting these stats.
If you just look up any .gov.org, it's all there.
Okay. I hear you. But yeah, back to your desired when being least desired. I just don't think that would make sense because there's still people getting together with single mothers. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
but that's a minority.
It's not. It's not.
We're
a
talking about.
minority. I have a
It
lot
is a
of, you know, the
minority.
people, for example, I've gone to school with, right? Growing up, I see the parent households that they come from. They have full mass siblings, and I'm like, oh, how comes you guys are not? Do you get? They're like, oh, we've got different dads, and the man that's currently in their household is their dad, but they have older siblings from different dads. That man has taken on that role, and there was many households that were like that. So for you to say they're the least desirable is very funny because they're the ones that have stayed to look after their children.
They are the least desirable because majority don't get married. It's like, you know what you sound like? It's like you sound like, well, I'm a very rich person, so poverty doesn't exist because everyone around me has money. But really, there's only a small percentage of wealthy people. Hold on. There's only when really there's only a small percentage of wealthy people. Majority of people are actually poverty stricken. So yeah, I'm sure there's a minority of single moms who find a simp to marry them. But trust and believe, there's not. There's the reason why he's a simp because a man who truly has standards for himself, unless he's a baby dad, okay, which I get it, right? You failed, so you're gonna be a failure. But a man who truly has standards for himself is not going to go and join a single mom where she's at, which is practically the lowest in society. He has way too many standards. He has way too much discipline to even want to be around someone like that. It's like someone sober being with a smackhead. They would never that reality will never align.
You can't compare because single mothers are not smackers. So it doesn't make no
Yeah,
sense.
they're not smackheads, but they are degenerates.
Like it doesn't make no sense. Like there's still
It does
people
make sense.
are being raised by single mothers and they do the best better than others. So what you're saying doesn't make sense.
No, they don't do the best because if they did do the best, really think about it. If a single mom was truly raising her child the best, then the biological father would have been married to her and it would have had hold on, and they would have had a family. They wouldn't have a productive two-parent household family. You can't raise your child the best if the biological father is not even there. That child was lacking from the beginning.
Depends
That's
on how
not the
you
best.
parent. It depends on how you parent. That doesn't make no sense.
It does
Obviously,
make sense.
no, it doesn't, because there's some mothers who do their best, which is putting their child in certain situations or environment to better their child outcome, and that's why the child will come out the way they come out. But you're saying, even the argument that you had with the girl, you said, "Oh, they're gonna be criminals," and da. You just sound so.
They're most likely. Have you
No,
even
they
looked at any
don't.
single?
They
Have
don't.
you actually looked at any single mom stats?
Who
Have
says
you
that?
actually do you, what's have you even looked at the percentage of criminals that are incarcerated in the UK
And
that
is
were raised
that
by
is
single
that is
moms?
that a whole in society, or you just talking about black people? Because who you talking about?
No, I'm talking about in general. Just in general.
Okay,
Have you even taken a look at majority of people that have are incarcerated in the UK that are raised by single moms?
no, I haven't looked at that.
So I never understand when you Fefails come up here and say it's a
I'm looking at the
lie,
real.
but you
I'm
don't.
looking at the real
You
people around me. I'm not looking at stats, babe. Like
but
literally,
that
and the
no,
way. And do you know what
yeah.
really
This
makes
is
sense?
see.
Yeah,
This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying.
you said that
Your
people that get
that
married.
concept is illogical because you're
No,
looking around people. Hold on, you're looking around people that you know, but that's not the majority. Like I said, if you
my
was a rich,
environment. Why would
if
I
you
not
was
look around that? That doesn't make no sense.
because your environment is not the majority. That's why your environment is not the majority. It's
The
like a rich man.
majority, the
It's like a
majority
rich
is.
man saying. It's like a rich man saying, "No one is poor because I'm rich." Everyone. Do you think rich people hang around poor people?
Of course they don't.
Exactly.
But
Does it mean poor
they
people
see
don't
what's going.
exist?
But they see
Hold
what's
on. Do you
going
think
on. They see what's going on.
exactly? So just because rich people don't hang around poor people
And I'm
doesn't
not
mean
saying it doesn't
poverty doesn't
happen though.
exist.
I'm not even saying it doesn't happen. But I'm just saying the way you're making it seem is a bit dramatic, and I feel like
It's
you're
not
just coming.
dramatic.
It
It's the
is, babe.
stats.
It is definitely dramatic. I feel
It's
like the
not no,
people
it's
around
not
me.
dramatic. If over 50% of people are incarcerated were raised by single moms, what you're seeing is how dramatic these single mom households are, not me.
And
I'm
then,
not the dramatic
but then
one.
the fact that you're blaming the single mom is outrageous. That's what you're
Yeah,
doing.
because I'm going to put the blame more on the single mom than the man.
You
But
just sound crazy.
let me just acknowledge a
Go
super
on.
chat really quickly. So
Yeah.
I want to say thank you to Ronald Barnes, who sent you 20 US dollars. Long time subscriber, finally caught alive. Wanted to show some love from Detroit, Michigan. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you for the support. Thank you for subscribing for so long. And yeah, so the reason why I blame majority of single moms more than men because women have more autonomy over their body when it comes to getting pregnant than men do.
Babe,
So it's only right.
you're trying to make it a science thing, right? And I hear it. I understand it. I get it. But my thing is,
Pardon?
I said you're trying to make it a science thing, and I hear it. Talking about autonomy and whatever. Cool. Makes sense. I hear it. But you see what you have to understand about men, right? They will put a lot of women in situations that they don't deserve to be in. So for you to blame the mother is very inadequate. It just doesn't make no sense. You can't blame someone for someone else's actions. Do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make no sense. And then you're
I'm
gonna
not
point.
blaming.
You did
Yeah,
though. You
see,
just said a
no, wait,
single mom
hold on.
fault.
I said majority. I said the majority of blame is on her, but I'm not blaming her for what he did. Like I said,
If it's a majority, you might as well say you're blaming her, babe.
yeah, if the majority of the blame is on her, yes, because it's her body. You need to understand, she has more power over her body than the man does, in every sense of the word. She has more power to decrease the likelihood of her getting pregnant more than that man could ever. And the truth is, if that man is not your husband, he doesn't owe you a commitment either.
So you think marriage is that's what it's about, and it's solidified. You're always going to be guaranteed a happy family because you're married.
I never said it will guarantee a happy family because,
But the way
happiness
you're
is.
wording
Hold
things,
on.
though, the way you're wording things sounds like that.
Yeah, no, I think a lot of people just think that, but when If I say it, I say. If I don't, I don't. What I'm saying is a man who's not your committed husband doesn't owe you commitment. Think of it like this. If a female lays down with a man, him having intercourse with you, is he telling you he wants you to be his wife?
In a lot of circumstances, sex is marriage, so I don't know.
Hold on, intercourse. No, generally speaking, when a
Sex,
man
yes,
is just
intercourse, sex, yes, yes.
no, he's not. No, he's
Yes,
not.
he
No,
is.
he's
From
not.
the
Because
moment
if he
you've
is,
opened up your
hold
leg
on.
and you've
If he
inserted
is,
this
why
like-
doesn't he? That doesn't know that. If he is, then why doesn't he marry her then?
Not
Why doesn't he marry her?
Not everybody wants to get married, you know. You know
We're
that?
talking about the majority. Majority of people. Majority. Yes. Okay, then. So he doesn't want to marry. All right, then. So exactly. So the man who's pounding her like yam doesn't want to marry her, and that's the point. He wasn't going there clapping her cheeks with the intention of making her into a wife. He was going there with an intention. He was going there with the intention of busting a nut. So now you, as a female, not you particular, but just females in general, these single moms, you should have clocked that before you opened your legs to this man. You should have clocked this man just wanted to bust a nut. You should have clocked that he was never going to commit to you or be the father of the child that you want him to be.
You can't anticipate these things just by looking off the back. Because you know a lot of guys...
You can, by not having intercourse with him. You can, easily. Just don't have intercourse with him.
But not, as I said, not everyone wants to get married, you know. I keep telling you this. Not everybody.
But you can anticipate. Okay.
You want to get married.
Okay, if they don't want to get married, that's fine. And this is why the single moms are the least desired. Because you don't want to get married, but you want to have failed children. You want to create broken homes.
How is that creating a broken home?
You don't think having a child and there's no two-parent raising that child is a broken home?
It does not guarantee, because you're married, does not guarantee that you're going to have a sweet, dandy home. It does not mean that. So
no one's saying a sweet, dandy home, but it's definitely a broken home because a child. I'm not. Yeah, but you're saying I'm wedding things, but I never said the family's gonna be happy and dandy. But I'm saying it's not a broken. A broken home means that there is a foundation put in place. There's a mother and father there who are both taking care of that child. That child needs not only the mother but the father as well. That's important because the most important thing as well. Do you know that single moms are a lot of. Don't use this word, but just so you know what I'm talking about. A lot of are targeted by predators the most compared to wives. Why do you think that happens?
Because they're alone. And there's no
exactly.
There's no man there.
So even off the bat, what you have is just by that man being there, you and the child are much more safer. And that's how a lot of these boys get into a lot of crime because they clock he doesn't have a father in his life. There's no man there. So I can take advantage of that.
Yeah.
So the reality is it's not about having a dandy household. It's about setting a safe environment, a foundation for that child to thrive in, or at least not be a statistical nightmare. At least avoid certain things that happens in society. You know, no one expects people to be happy all the time. A lot of these females do, sadly enough. They think it's a man's responsibility to make them happy. But no one, happy household is not guaranteed. That's feelings. It's going to come and go. But what's important is the child is safe. There's a man and woman there. And you've knocked off a whole lot of stats that is going to put them at a disadvantage. And this is why single moms are failures. This is why the house is broken. Because now you've put that child at a disadvantage from the beginning. They're born and they're at a disadvantage.
Again, you're blaming the mothers, but fair enough. Can agree to disagree.
Yes, most part I'm blaming the woman because she has more control over her body than the man does when it comes to getting pregnant. She can avoid it more than he can.
He can
by
avoid
far.
it. more than she can. But okay,
Yeah, she can avoid it more
no, he
because she
can.
knows when she's ovulating. Yeah, he can, but
And
he
you know why I say he can avoid it more is because the men are the ones that impregnate you. So there's a lot of situations which you don't understand. I don't think you do understand is that women get put in a situation where they even maybe forced to have sex, or they even maybe manipulated into a situation where
smacks, please. Say smacks, please.
sorry.
Smacks or intercourse.
Yeah. So it's like because you're being put in that position, now a baby is going to come forth. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like you saying the woman, the woman, the woman, there's loads of situations. There's the scenarios really. And it's like you can't put the blame on a woman because there's women that are to blame, there's women that are not to blame. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And I feel like the world that we live in, there's a lot of women who are taken advantage of. So I feel like for you to say that, it's just a bit nasty, really. Literally.
Yeah, no, yeah, outside of victims, 'cause I don't talk about anyone that got pregnant without being consented or a
But
victim.
I feel like a
Any
lot of
hold on,
women
no,
do go through that though. Do you know what I mean? A lot of
no,
women
there's
do.
people that get AB'd usually are like 20-30% in
I feel
society.
like
So it's
it's
not the
much
majority.
higher. The people that get
It's not the majority. No, it's really not the majority. It's not. If it was, trust me, we will see it. It would be all over the
because
news
a lot of
if
women
majority of
they're basically
hold on, if majority
like
of women, if majority of women were being AB'd, trust and believe it would be all over the news. So it's not the majority. The reality is women have more control over their body when it comes to whether they can avoid getting pregnant or not. They know when they're the most fertile, they have contraception, or you could just easily keep your legs closed. This is it, you know. Majority of these single moms are not victims. Majority are just not. Majority are willing participants in being degenerate. They chose to lay down with that man. They chose to be promiscuous, or they chose to divorce their husbands and destroy their families. This is a choice. And that's why I say single moms choose to be single moms. Because that's all you really have in life is choices.
you can't say someone chooses to. I don't understand how you can say someone chooses because it's not their actions, babe. It's not
Which
their
it
actions.
is their
I would
actions.
prefer
They
it.
open
No,
their
it's
legs.
not. No, it's not, babe. I would prefer if you would be like, oh, um, it's better that you go with this type of person. But for you to say, oh, it's your fault, that doesn't make no sense. It doesn't make no sense. Like you can't. It's that person's action. The men are the reason why that's happened. Do you get it? So you can't say it's her
Do
fault. That does not make
do
no
men
sense.
know? Do men know when you are ovulating?
Some
Okay, and how could they know?
because they're the ones that you're with, so they would know
Yeah, but
very well
how could they get access to that information? How could they get access to that information that you're ovulating?
through an app. I have
Through
an app.
app.
You don't have
Okay.
an app.
But how can they know when she's ovulating? You need some information from her for you to know as a man. A man can't guess when you're ovulating because when you
I told you
ovulate,
from an app. I have an app, so they can look at the app.
so they can look at your app, is what you're saying. So through your app, where your information's at,
He
that's how he
can
can
like
know. So
he
he can
can even
only
download it
so he can own so he can only know when you are the most fertile in the month through you.
through the app.
And that's the point. Outside of you, he has no idea when you are fertile.
But he knows that
Out
he knows what intercourse will like will
Yes, but you ultimately have the most power not only to decline the intercourse because you are the most fertile in that month, but also you have the power to unalive that baby. You have the most autonomy not only over your own body when you're the most fertile, but also over that unborn baby. He doesn't have that
But you're
power. You do.
are you for abortions?
Say AB, please. No, I'm not.
Are you sure?
Yes. I don't tell Fefails what to do.
No, I'm saying, are
But
you
the
sure that you
reality
got it?
is, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. But I
Okay.
wouldn't tell a female she should do it or not. Although I do know that they fought. This is why I say that this is their own autonomy, because this is what they fought for. In the 1960s, they didn't just fight for sexual liberation and have intercourse the way some men do. They also fought for AB rights. So they and that's how contraception also came in. So they fought for the rights to be able to unalive unborn babies, and also for contraception to get a dopamine hit every time without the consequence of getting pregnant. This is what women have fought for. So in 2026 today, you have more power over the man to keep, not keep the child. Know when you're fertile, know when to not have intercourse. All of this information, like you said, is on an app. You even have it on an app. You even have access to when you are the most fertile on an app.
Yeah, that's
And
why
somehow single moms.
I wouldn't put myself in that situation, but I hate you.
So how come a lot of these single moms can't use this information to make sure they don't create a
I
broken
feel
household?
like some women are just a bit uneducated, but I feel like with them being uneducated, they might make mistakes in that time, and it's always time to better yourself. That's all I can say. But I don't think that they're desirable. That's just
I wouldn't call it a mistake. I mean, the
I
child,
would.
yes, the child
would
is.
say
It's not a mistake. The child, I can understand it
it is a
being
mistake
the
because you're
child being a
saying that you
mistake,
shouldn't
because
have done that.
it was never planned,
Yeah,
but
so it
it
is
was
a
a
mistake.
choice.
No, it's definitely a mistake.
It wasn't a mistake. No,
Just because you
when
made
you
a
choose to have
choice doesn't mean
intercourse,
it's not a mistake, babe. It's a
no,
mistake.
because no, this is it. When you choose to have intercourse with a man, you are choosing for that man to be your unborn baby's child's father. When you have intercourse with a man, you're saying, I want you to be my child's father. From when you say, let's get naked and let's do this, you are saying, I want you to be my child's father. So they chose it.
I guess that's your opinion.
It's not an opinion, it's a fact. I mean, we both know how children are made, right?
No, I'm saying it's your opinion of your viewpoint of this whole statement. But
Without having intercourse, the child is not going to exist.
no,
So really, when a female's in bed with that man, she's saying, I actually want you to be my child's father. And it's a choice. Everything you do in life, it is a choice. Now, single moms make dumb choices, but it's still a choice.
your opinion, as I said, but you can agree to disagree.
I understand. A lot of what I see is that a lot of females don't.
It's nice debating with you, though.
Okay, thank you for coming up, anyways.
No problem.
A lot of females don't want to admit that single moms are the ones who chose to be single moms. That is something they may unalive on a hill before they do that. They are never going to actually blame the woman who opened her legs. They won't do that. But the truth is, everything that happens in life is a choice. And whatever you do in life is a choice. And single moms chose to be single moms. Because if they didn't, they would make sure that man that they chose to have intercourse with, that man that they chose to get their cheeks clapped with, would be a good father and a good husband. How many single moms do you think they asked the man that they had intercourse with, do you want to be a father? What happens if I get pregnant? What type of father will you be? Will you leave? Do they even ask these questions before they open their legs? Is it even ever a question about what happens? A lot of these single moms don't even have these type of conversations. Angel said, I'm confused. You can be married and still end up a single mom. Yes, you can be married, and the only way you can end up being a single mom if the woman initiates divorce. If she initiates divorce, then she is the one that's going to be the least desired. But you cannot be a single mom in a marriage unless you're separated. Unless you're separated. Or he's they say as well, if he's away somewhere. Unless you are separated by law. But you can't be a single mom in a marriage. No. I don't know where you Fefails get this ideology from. So the reality is, a lot of these single moms choose to be married. Why is it that deep though? It's deep because majority of their sons are uncivilized human beings. A lot of their sons are smug dealers. A lot of their sons are criminals. A lot of these single moms' pitneys are the ones destroying society. It's very much deep. It's very much a conversation that needs to be had. That's a stereotype though. It's not a stereotype when it's backed by facts. Okay? It is not a stereotype anymore when it's backed by facts. Nah, there are bare single moms hiding behind empty marriages, women married to themselves. That still doesn't make her a single mom, Tiana. That still does not make her a single mom. See, I know a lot of you Fefails think anyone could be a single mom. Because what you do, see, what a lot of these Fefails like to do, they like to blur the lines. This is why they say it's not all black and white, when it really is. They want to blur the lines so people don't recognize what a failure looks like. They don't actually want people to see what success and failure looks like, because majority of you Fefails are failures. And you don't want people, you don't want men, and you don't want society, younger women, to recognize you failed. So you rather someone be unhappy in a relationship, marriage, than be a single mom. Happiness is the most one. Happiness is one of the most fleeting emotions out there. That should not determine whether you leave your husband. If someone leaves their husband because they're unhappy, you are an emotional brat. I know a lot of Fefails love to talk about emotional intelligence. Well, it's not emotionally intelligent to leave a marriage because you feel unhappy. What it really sounds like is you are putting too much burden on your husband to make you feel happy. Happiness shouldn't dictate if your family should be destroyed or not. And that's why a lot of these single moms are the least desired. They destroy their families. They destroy their marriage over happiness. You don't think your children should be happy? You don't think your husband should be happy? Is it that only your happiness is the most important? That's why I say they're brats. Your happiness should not be put on a pedestal if you are going to be the one to destroy your family. A lot of these single moms put their happiness on a pedestal as if their happiness is what helps the family, builds the family. No, that's not what it does. Your happiness is not that important when you are in a marriage and when you have children or a child. Your happiness is probably the most irrelevant thing in that. Happiness is very important for the emotional health of your child. No, happiness is not that important. It's not. See, what you Fefails want to do is you want to make yourself more important than you actually are. What's important is that you are a emotionally stable adult that can still be able to function properly while raising your child, instead of being emotional and making it all about you. That's what you're supposed to do. Thank you, Fly. Thank you, Harry. It is scientifically proven I am childless. I don't know what Fefail is. Fefail means failed female. The reality is, even if the mom is happy or unhappy, you still need to be a functioning adult and put the child first. And if it means pretend being happy, you pretend being happy. But you don't destroy your marriage because you are unhappy. That's why a lot of you females are selfish. That's why a lot of men just want to clap your cheeks and leave you in the streets. That's why men don't want to commit to you. Because a lot of you females are very egotistical brats. You talk about emotional intelligence when you have none yourself. Emotionally intelligent person is not going to break up a marriage because she's unhappy. You sound like a child that didn't get their way, so you throw a tantrum. A lot of you females are your own problem. That's why a lot of these single moms end up where they're at. No offense. Just teaching your children to lie about their own happiness and put up with BS. It's not about putting up with BS. If you didn't want to put up with BS, then why are you with that man? So really, what you showed your child is you as a whole parent, you as a whole mother couldn't even be able to make the right choice with someone that you spent your whole entire life with. That's really what you proved. And that's what gets me is that a lot of you females will say, well, I'm teaching my child to be in an unfulfilled marriage. I'm teaching my child to be in an unhappy marriage. Well, guess what? You also taught that child that you can't even be able to make the right choice when it comes to who you want to spend the rest of your life with. You chose that man. So really what you taught your child is that you are an inconsistent parent. You're inconsistent with what you did in your life, with who you choose to do it with your life. And now you punish everyone in that family because you are inconsistent, because you are indecisive. See, a lot of these single moms, when they choose to ruin their marriage, they're teaching their children something. They're teaching their children how to be confident, brave, and courageous. No, you're teaching them how to be indecisive. You're teaching them how to be failures. You're teaching them to always react from emotions, not from a logical place. And this is why they enter in society and do the same thing. And guess what? They become uncivilized human beings. This is exactly what happened. A lot of you females never want to admit, never actually want to say it for what it is. They choose to be single moms. It is a choice. Whether they had the child outside of wedlock, or whether they had it, or whether they divorced their husband, they still chose it. So where does the dad come in? Or is it all on the mum? The reality is, majority of the blame goes to the mum. It's always going to go to the mum because, one, they are the ones who initiate divorce the most, and two, they are the ones who have more power over their own body than men do. So if you as a woman can't be able to control what you do with your own body, why are we going to blame men for what you chose to do and when you chose to do it? Bumblebee asks, what if her husband unalived and she's not included? She's a widow. She did what she was supposed to do, stay in a marriage until unaliving did them apart. That's what you're supposed to do. So I wouldn't blame someone for doing what they were supposed to do, stay in a marriage until the end. Okay, Angel said, okay, I can agree with that, but it still takes two. Yes, it takes two, but one ultimately has more power over the other. And this is what you females wanted. And that's why I say you're so illogical, because you females wanted the power, you wanted the autonomy, you wanted the right to do whatever you want. But what happens when you have more rights and you have more autonomy? Guess what? You have more responsibility. You have more responsibility because you have more options you can exercise. And when you don't actually exercise your options properly, that now you put your life at a disadvantage by popping out a baby outside of wedlock or getting married to a man that you clearly wish you didn't, you have to live with that responsibility now. And what you females do, you complain about it now. Now you want to blame men for what you wanted, for what you fought for. Did you not want to have more power over men? I'm sorry. Did you females not want more power over men? Did you not want to live like a man or have the same rights as a man? You have your rights now. Deal with the consequences. You would think with more information, they would make better choices. But this is why I say they're stupid. And I know a lot of people may think, why do you keep saying that? Because how could you have so much more information, so much more access, so much more autonomy than any other woman in the world? Let's be real. And you still make degenerate choices. It really comes down to intelligence at this point. I have to now look at intelligence because it's nothing to do with information. It's nothing to do with oppression. It's nothing to do with the patriarchy. It's all about intelligence now. Because of everything that's happened, you still make dumb choices. And that's why I say they're dumb. Because there's no way in 2026 you females are opening your legs to a man who is not married to you, who hasn't claimed that he wants to be committed to you. There's no way you think you are going to get away with that and somehow think he's going to magically make you into a wife after he busted inside you. You're just another sloppy second. Yes, single moms are sloppy seconds. What is a female programming? Oh my days. Angel, I don't know what you're talking about. Like I said, female means failed female. I don't know where you females actually believe that because you opened your legs to this man, he's going to marry you. Who told you this lie? Did he tell you the lie after he busted inside you? Is that what happened? Did those guys tell you they're going to marry you after they busted inside you? Because I'm trying to understand who told you this lie. Because no logical person on earth actually believes that. The only people that are telling you that are men that want to clap your cheeks. The only people that are telling you they're going to marry you after we have intercourse with you are men who are clapping your cheeks. Those are the only people that are telling you that. And you believe them. You actually believe this man? You would think it's obvious he's doing everything he can to pound you like yam. But then when you end up pregnant, they end up pregnant, now they're shocked. They're shocked. He doesn't want to be a father. He doesn't want to be in your life. Or he's not ready to be a father. He's not financially stable. Wasn't it obvious when you was having intercourse with a man that wasn't your husband? It's a choice. That is a choice that you females have made. And I know they all know it. Deep down, they all know they made that choice. Deep down, they know they're the ones who failed. But they don't want people to acknowledge that. Because when these single moms and people if these single moms start taking accountability, then they have nowhere to go. You can't blame men anymore. You can't blame the patriarchy. Now everyone can really start saying, you messed up. But what happens when a single moms start blaming everybody else? It opens the door for sympathy, no shame. It opens the door for understanding. No one needs to understand failure. Okay, we understand enough. We understand that a lot of these single moms open their legs. That's what we understand. We don't need to sympathize with that. I think it's quite clear what you did and why you did it. Nothing more to talk about. But they will do anything to make sure that they are not the ones blamed for the most part. They don't want to be the one who gets shamed. And that's another thing. These Fefails don't want to be shamed, don't want to be called out for. They want to be celebrated, empowered. You want people to help you. To be honest, any single mom that says, why don't people help me? That is very entitled mindset, entitled behavior. No one is entitled to having to help you who failed. No one should change society because you failed. That's no one's responsibility. No one's goal or aim in life. The only goal that you Fefails should have had is keeping them legs closed. But I know damn well that is going to be that's a hard job for you Fefails to do. That's why you all go on a celibacy journey. It is hard for you Fefails to keep her legs closed. That's why you all love talking about celibacy journey and being abstinent. Almost like you celebrate for actually having standards for once in your life. So I get it. But that's why it's degenerate. Low vibrational behavior. It's a real thing. You want to know what low vibrational behavior looks like? Take a look at single moms. So I am going to be reacting to this video. Dating as a single mom feel draining. And this only just helps elaborate a little bit more on why single moms are the least desired.
The things that I'm dreading so bad as a single mom is whenever I do decide to get back into the dating scene, which is probably going to be a while. I've been single for 6 years. I don't see myself dating anybody for a good while. Anywho, it's having to explain to someone the reason why I have 2 baby daddies. Like, the most embarrassing thing is having to explain that. Like, I almost want to make a TikTok series about it and just send him the link. Does that make sense?
Yikes. And you know, this is another thing as well, is that these single moms, these Fefails, what happens when you begin to date them is now you have a single mom explaining to you why she failed. I don't think you get how crazy that is. That now a man has to date a woman who has to explain why she was a community box. Because that's really what you're doing. Before you can even get to know her, you know, before you can even have an understanding of her personality, what she likes and doesn't like, the whole date now, the talking stage, the courting stage, whatever it is, it's about how she failed. It's about why 2 men busted inside her. What logical man finds that fulfilling? What logical man will find that desiring? Talking to a Fefail and asking why 2 men clapped your cheeks and gave you children and no ring on your finger. I mean, unless he's only there for one thing, which majority are, let's be for real. How is that desirable? What's desirable about that? Listening to a single mom tell you why her baby daddy clapped her cheeks and never married her. What man hears that and thinks, wow, that's my wife. Wow, my future wife just got her cheeks clapped by her baby dad. Honestly, what man thinks like that? And this is why the ones that choose to be with single moms are simps. Fefail means failed female. This is why they are simps. Because you must be a whole new level of desperation to see that in a wife. To say, you know what, I will make you my wife after you've explained to me how men who didn't want to commit to you gave you a child. Do you not know that when you are now dating or courting this female and she has to explain to you why that man busted inside her, that is a community box. Outright. You don't even need to ask her body count anymore. It don't even matter about her body count. Don't even matter about anything else. That's just a community box. The fact that the conversation now is centered around her coochie. Because that's really what the conversation is about now. That's why she wants to send a link. That's why she said, I wish I can send you a TikTok link to talk to you about my 2 baby dads. Now the conversation is about what she's done with her coochie, how long she's done it, what the consequences were, which is having a baby, which is still her coochie. It's now about what she did with her legs. No longer about the type of wife she's going to be, type of woman she's going to be in your life. You are talking to a community box. Another reason why single moms are the least desired. That is not a wife. That is not a wife. You do not speak to a traditional woman and the conversation is based around her niash. It's about now who she is, her family, her parents. What was her life like? How her childhood. With single moms, the conversation is now about her nyash. What she did with her coochie before and after. Now you're having a dialogue about what she did with her coochie before the baby dad and after the baby dad. Does that really sound like a wife to you, or does that sound like a community box? So I don't understand why a lot of these females get confused with this prompt. It's very simple. I mean, isn't it obvious that single moms are the least desired if the baby dad didn't even want to marry you? Who else made it clear than your baby dad? Your own baby dad didn't marry you. Your own baby dad is not even fully present with you. That is so clear. If anything else couldn't be clear, that is clear. The man that you chose to give your body to, give your womb to, didn't even see you worthy enough of being his wife. Isn't that clear that you are the least desired? Because having a child is like final boss for a woman. It's like the final, when I say final boss, it's like the final stage. It's like there's nothing more a woman can do with her body. Like she gave you everything. That's like the final form, the final stage. There's nothing more she can do with her body that is greater than that. And the man still didn't marry you. If that doesn't shout the least desired, I don't know what else does. If that doesn't shout the least desired, I don't know what else does. And a lot of these females are in denial about it. So a lot of these females, they will forever get triggered by this prompt. You know, what they expect is for me to be a part of the sisterhood. That's what they want. They want a motivational speaker for their degenerate behavior. They want quotes, inspiration. Inspiration for what? Inspiration for you to continue being a community box. That's what these females want. They want inspiration to continue to be degenerate. That will never happen. I think that's happening way too much, to be honest. A lot of these females want to normalize single mom mentality, behavior, and reality. They want to normalize it. It's normal to have a child outside of wedlock. No, it's not normal. And because majority of men know this, they don't get married. They don't get what they want from men. A lot of these single moms are angry at the fact that men actually have standards. I get it. A lot of these females, they fought for the sexual liberation because they saw other men do it. And they thought, well, if because men are doing it, then we should be on the same playing field. We're going to be on the same playing field and get the same results. That's not how it works. Just because a man who has a high body count can be able to marry doesn't mean you as a woman can do the same thing. Just because a man is a baby dad and has multiple baby mamas doesn't mean you can do the same thing. You may be in the same playing field, doesn't mean you're getting the same outcome. And that's why a lot of you females who fell into that are a tad bit slow. You really thought that men were going to treat you the same. A lot of these single moms really believed that as long as they look good, body looking snatched, makeup on point, hair on point, that there's going to be a man out there, or enough men out there, there's going to be enough simps out there that will marry them. There's not enough simps in the world. Okay? There's just not enough. You know, in the first world country, that's probably the most likelihood you're going to get the optimal simp. Because in the second world country, in the third world country, they are way more traditional. So you ain't going to really go anywhere else other than UK, Europe, and the US. If you think you're going to find a husband, and even that, there's not enough men in Western society who are going to want to be with a baby mama. There's just not enough men who want to raise another man's child, another man's mistake. Because that's really what it is. It's another man's mistake. That child was not supposed to happen. It happened because the single mom made a stupid choice. But they never planned for it. They never really said we want to have a child together. That wasn't the conversation. And that's why a lot of their children come out angry, degenerate. Because 9 out of 10 times, they were not even conceived with love. They were conceived with lust, excitement, nothing actually meaningful about their relationship. A lot of these relationships don't mean nothing. Just long-term lustful people. And somehow they will say, we didn't choose it, but you did. Okay, so there is another panelist. Yes, welcome.
You know what? I respect you and I love you for standing up for the men. And you know what? Hands down to you, girl. Hands down to you. And I would always want women to be like you. I would always respect women to be like you. Stand up for men like us. You know what? We always been down. We always been fallen down. And you know what? No men like us stand up. You know what? That's because the way it's going, Everyone want to put us down. And you know what? It's okay. It's okay. But you know what? To find somebody like you, it's like a, it's like a, I, I don't even know how the word to say it. The pearl in the oyster. You know what? Hands down to you, girl. Hands down to you. And I respect you. Thank you. I'll put myself down.
Thank you.
And I'll put
Thank you
myself
so much.
I'll
Okay,
put
thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Yeah, a lot of these females love to blame men. Thank you so much for the kind words. I appreciate your support. A lot of females love to blame men. And I just think it's too late to blame men. I understand if you didn't have the rights, you didn't have feminism, you didn't have the conscious, you didn't have everything that you fought for. It's too late to blame men. Men have nothing to do with what you females are doing. Men have nothing to do with a bunch of females creating broken homes. That is actually out of men's control, especially if there's more single moms than baby dads. There is more females creating broken homes than men are. And a lot of these females are confused by that. When I tell them that, they get confused. They say, well, how is that possible? How can there be more single moms? But yet, a lot of these guys are busting inside them. Hello, a man can impregnate multiple women in a day, let alone a month. See, you females thought you can do what men do. You can't do what men do because he's just impregnating you females, one man, back to back. And somehow you think you can do what he does? What's a female? Failed female. That's what it is. It's what majority of single moms are. Failures. Oh, Joy asks, the real question is, why the F should I be concerned whether or not a man desires me? No, you shouldn't be concerned whether a man desires you or not, but you should definitely be concerned why you failed that child. You should definitely be concerned why you were willing to create a broken home. And the truth is, you're delusional if you don't care whether a man desired you or not, because if you ended up being a single mom, then you clearly cared about what your baby dad did. Enough to open your legs. I would never fall for that. You as a whole single mom will say, why should I care what men desire? You cared about what your baby dad desired. That's why you let him bust inside you. You cared about how much he desired you so much, you got naked. You gave him your nyash. I mean, that is outright caring. Yes, welcome.
Thank you very much, Remnant, for having me. My name is Classy Perspective. I just didn't change my name. I thought you went just a little bit soft on that question that lady just asked you just a second ago. Her name was Joy. I don't know what woman in the world that does not want to be desired by a man. That's just biological for one. But you went soft on her, but you told a lot of truth behind it. It was only one thing that I disagree with you on, but however, I'm going to be a hypocrite on myself because one thing
Okay.
Kai did say that I did agree, and maybe you can clean this up. Maybe missed it what you said. Can you tell a woman's ovulation? Yes, you can. It just depends on if a man. Now, here's where it's a hypocrite on my part. It depends if that man has been with that woman long enough and he's emotionally invested in that man.
Yeah, no, yeah. I understand that. Yeah, yeah. That's why I blame single moms the most because they know when they are the most fertile.
Oh,
Now,
absolutely,
if the
one
man,
thousand percent. Go ahead. I'm sorry, I
no,
interrupted.
it's fine. It's okay. Now, if the man cares and, he has to care about you enough to even want to know.
Right, right.
And that's just that simple.
Right. And one thing I want to say, and I don't want to hold you up, a lot of these ladies, they ask where we get these stats from. See, I'm a medical professional. We see all this stuff. Every time you go into a hospital, you visit an ER or you visit a doctor or a physician, We have paperwork and we take down everything you say from you being single to when's the last time you had schmecks or when's the last time all these different information goes into what is called a database. Those are your medical records that follow you to the day that you are deceased. So ladies, you can't pull a fast one over us. We already know what's going on. Even if you try to lie, once you bring that baby into a hospital, you giving us full consent to do tests on your child. Like for example, Remedy, I'll say this: if a child needs a kidney transplant, right, or bone marrow, or if that child needs some type have sickle cell, we're going to let you ladies know something. We're going to test the father that's claiming to be the father, and if he doesn't match, we're going to know that you're lying. So I advise y'all to come free.
Oh,
I mean, be honest about this. So,
wow. Learn something new every day.
but that's because the fact of the matter is that I'm just saying from a medical professional experience that we've had children in the hospital from single mothers, right, that have had certain type of diseases or problems. And we have to do what is called a genial test to see if they can find a match to, a donor's match to see if it matches with the child. And most of the time that is coming from the biological father, not the stepfather. So ladies, you can't lie no more. We know all this information. All these stats come from a database that we have to send to Congress. Sorry, ladies.
Facts on facts. Thank you for that. I really appreciate that and teaching us something new. A lot of these females, they don't actually like the truth. We actually have someone that came with some facts.
And the fact of the
That
matter
you
is,
don't usually get that with these females.
well, and the thing is, and ladies, I want y'all to understand this. If Remnant will bless me more time, ladies, yes, you can be desired as a woman with a single mother, but your desire is different from the male's desire. You can look just as fine as this woman on Remnant's picture right here. Let's just say this woman is a single mother. Oh, absolutely, yeah. A lot of men will date you. We will
Yeah,
take
she's
you out to.
she's definitely a single mother.
Oh, she is.
Yeah, she's known in the UK. Yeah, she's a
Okay.
rapper's baby mom.
Oh, okay. I'm in the U.S.
Yeah.
But okay. Let's just hypothetically take that part out of it. That she got pregnant for a rapper, just for a few seconds. A woman that's walking around that's not with the rapper, she can be just as fine as her being a single mother. Absolutely. There's men out there that'll take you out, wine and dine you, and they will take you home to rearrange your spinal cord like a Rubik's Cube. But that doesn't mean they want to keep you. So I want y'all ladies to think about that.
Oh, yeah, facts on facts. That's what a lot of these females believe. They believe that because men give you attention, date you, sleep with you, that makes you desired. No, that's not how that
Yes.
works.
And absolutely. And every time I hear ladies, and even myself, are there single mothers that raise great children? Absolutely. I'll give you an example. This cardiac surgeon, Ben Carson, was raised by a single mother. But the question you have to ask is how many Ben Carsons exist? There's only one. So bringing up anomalies, I know women around my block that are good mothers, but no man is looking to marry them.
Well, would you like to give me your last thoughts before I end the live?
Yes, actually, for you, I would like for you to keep doing what you're doing. I love your show. I listen to your YouTube page all the time. I'm Classy Perspective. I know the name is different on TikTok. Thank you for inviting me up. And the next time you have one of these shows, I will be gladly to come back and give more information if you would like.
Yes, thank you so much. It's nice to put a voice with the name. I appreciate your support very, very much.
All right, thank you
And
for
you were
having me.
just speaking facts on facts. Don't get enough of that. So thank you.
All right, thank you. Have a blessed one.
You too. So yeah, I actually have a woman who actually came with some studies and facts to debunk all of you females that disagree. Somehow you never seem to get that with the opponents though, do you? Never come with no facts. Maybe because it's all illogical, right? So yes, I am going to be locking off the live. I am going to be locking off the live. Single moms are the least desired. Oh my goodness me. Sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, classy perspective. Forgive me, please. Forgive me. I'm just a little bit tired. It's 1 a.m. in the UK, so forgive me. Forgive me. But thank you anyways. I appreciate your support. My last thoughts is single moms are the least desired. You know they are, and a lot of these Fefails don't want to admit they are. And you know, that's just the reality. There's nothing you can do about it. That's why I say you was born to be a failure. And I know Fefails are going to despise me for saying that. But I believe that you are who you are. And if you were in another time, in another world, and you had to make the same choices, trust and believe you would make the same choices. This is a reflection of your moral compass. That's why a lot of these single moms were born to be failures. What we're really looking at is what you prioritized, which is the most important part about you, your womb. You didn't prioritize that, and that's the problem. So yes, I am going to be locking up the live. I want to thank every single one of you. I want to thank everyone on TikTok. I want to thank everyone on YouTube. Shout out to my mom. Shout out to Skinny Boy. I see you. Thank you. And once again, Classy Perspective. Shout out to you. Thank you for coming up. I appreciate you. And once again, my apologies. I appreciate your support. And even the ones that disagree, thank you for coming up. So yeah, I will be back live tomorrow, same time, back live tomorrow. Lap said I disagree. We'll be back live tomorrow. Okay, I'm just gonna speak to one more person. Name is Lap. Lap, if you want to request quickly and tell me why you disagree. And this is gonna be my last conversation. And then after that, I'm gonna lock it off. But since I don't really usually debate men, but let's just hear him out, right?
Hello. What, can you hear me?
Yes, welcome. Yes, I can hear you. Welcome.
All right. So you could call me Lex. So I was gonna say I disagree with what you've been saying. So your point is single mums are the least desired, you're saying?
Yes, single moms are the least desired.
Nah, I would say they're the most desired.
Okay, why do you say that?
Because it depends what you want them for. Like, say,
Oh my days.
your phone's dry and you want to speak to some women, all right? You just have those single mums. No, I can't lie, Fred. You just have those single mums in your.
Are you trolling me? I feel like you're trolling me. Because you're really describing the single mom to be a community box.
No, that's a lie. So anyway, don't interrupt me. What I was saying is single mums. Bro, I was so fat. Single mums, when you have them on your phone, your contacts, right? They're the ones you call. When you call them, they come up, right? I can't lie, I don't know what I'm saying, I'm freestyling.
Okay then. Well, thank you anyways for coming up. You couldn't prove your point. Hey, yeah, he was trolling because there's no way. I mean, that answer just tells me everything that I need to know. Yeah, he agrees. I'm just gonna keep it that simple. He agrees. Anyways, because that was not a reason. I mean, a single mom being available on your phone. What? But the reality is, single moms are seen as community boxes. You're not seen as a wife. So for a man, you are easy. You're the easiest because it was easy for your baby dad. So you're going to be easy for any other man. So I get it. Yeah. If you want to have easy access, you are going to text a single mom first before anybody else. So in that sense, there's a bit of truth in that logic, even though he wasn't really here on earth with us. So we got the Keith.
Hey,
I know I said last person. Forgive me, guys. Go ahead. What are your thoughts on the topic?
I was just thinking, like, black men have a lot of problems with this all across the board because it's like we always get asked, well, your mom was a single mom. Why don't you want? It's like, that's like the main reason is because I grew up in a single mom household. I saw all the pitfalls to that. And I just don't generally want to be a baby dad. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand why so many single moms are just comfortable with being a single mom. I never wanted to be a single father. I just like never thought that was cool. Never thought that was going to be acceptable when I was young in my home. My parents wasn't going for it. So I just don't know how so many women just found like, well, it just happens. I don't even want to say how old I am, but I'm just know I'm way too old to be a single dad. And so now when people are like, well, why don't you have any kids? I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to be a single dad. And that was my preference. And I didn't really want to be with a single mom and try to be a mix in father to somebody else's situation. So that's just my thoughts. So I don't know if they're like the least desired, but I see where the problem is. And a lot of women just don't see the problem.
Yes, of course they don't want to see the problem. They wouldn't want to see the problem because that's what happens when you are the least desired. You will forever be avoiding the problem. Yes, Abby, welcome. Can you please address the
Hi, good
prompt?
hi, good evening. How are you guys?
Fine, thank you. Yourself?
I am doing amazing. I feeling full of joy. I just saw that you all had a question on the page saying single moms are the least desired, right? And if that is your opinion, that is your opinion. At the end of the day, people have to get to a space where they first start loving themselves. And if we reach a place where we start loving ourselves, we will not project our feelings onto other people. Because I know people who got married to single moms, and these are fellas who have plenty money and they're happy. At the same time, I also know people who got with people who don't have no kids and they're living in very unhappy relationships. So my thing is, we as a people, I really pray that we get to a place where we stop having this division in society where it's rich versus poor, it's woman versus men, things like
Okay.
that.
What
So,
division are you talking about? Are you talking about the division
no, I'm
between
talking
failure
about,
and success? Because
yes.
that's the only division that should happen. That we should divide ourselves from degenerate Fefails who create broken households. Yes, there should
So
definitely be division from people who are failures and choose to act degenerate.
So, would you say that all single moms, let's say a single mom would have her spouse would have passed away, all right? So that's how she become a single mom because of that. She is a failure.
No, the only people that I exempt are widows, and anyone that's a victim, or if the husband left the wife.
Okay.
But other
So,
than that, they are all failures. Yes.
so let me ask a question, right? And I ask it because I genuinely want to know, right? So, at
when I was 20, how old I was? 23. I just finished university. My father had just passed away. And my childhood sweetheart at the time made it his business that he wanted to get me pregnant because I didn't want to get married. I didn't want to get married at the time because one, I was running track for Trinidad. Two, I wanted to go back to university to do my master's and then furthermore my PhD. But he had it in his mind that he was going to get me pregnant on purpose so that I would not leave him. Do you think that, I mean, I'm not blaming him, I blame myself as well because I should have known better, right? Do you think that I am a failure because somebody plotted and something happened and yet still I still live in a very successful life? How would that make that person a failure? I'm not saying that it does not have single mothers who are failing. I'm not saying that. I'm speaking about how do we say that against single mothers and not just, hey, this happens to some people.
Okay, yeah, no, definitely a failure. No one plotted for you to get pregnant. You willingly opened your legs. That's how pregnancy happens when you lay down with a man. So yeah, it's definitely failure. The man was never your husband. You clearly was young. So sounds like it was a very fast life that you was living and you made a broken household.
Okay, makes sense. That's your opinion, and I thank you so very much for your opinion. Can I ask you a question? How old are you?
I'm 100.
You was 100. I came in
No, I
strong.
am a
I,
100.
no, the person who is in the comments, King. I am not. I ain't coming strong. I really want to know. I want to know that. Yeah, I saw it said single
Yeah, don't worry
moms
about
have the
don't
least.
don't worry
Um.
about don't worry about the comments. Don't worry about the comments.
Okay.
You're on
Okay.
the panel. You're talking to me. So
I
yeah, it's
genuinely.
not an opinion. It's a
Mm,
fact. It's a fact. Nothing good comes from a single mom household.
I
It's just a bunch of
when
females who
when you say
chose to.
when you say nothing good, what you mean by that?
I mean, by nothing good comes from a single mom household. The single mom is a failure. She creates more failure, which goes into society and then goes into community. Nothing positive that actually is conducive, productive for society and communities comes from a single mom household.
So let me ask you a question. Are there families where there are people who both come from parents where they have the mother and their father that they also doing the same thing in society?
Yes, but it's not the majority. Majority come from a single mom household, not a two-parent household. Two-parent households are less likely to have children who fail because they don't grow up in a disadvantage.
Okay, well, in my country, that's not how it is. So I respect your opinion and I thank you for allowing me to be here because I definitely get to learn your perspective as
That's
well. It makes sense. Makes sense.
you can't. I don't understand why you say in your country that's not how it is. I mean, that's what it is
In
everywhere you go.
in my country, there are a lot of parents household with my generation where they came from the both parents were there, and those are people who running havoc in the country. So I don't know. I can't say what you're saying because that is not my experience. But I appreciate your
Yes,
experience.
I understand that. Is no, it's not my experience because I'm not around failure. I'm not around criminals or a bunch of single moms. But if you actually take the time to do research, you will find that majority of single moms are raising the degenerates in society more than two-parent households.
So let
More.
me
Am I
ask.
saying two-parent households will never create degenerate? No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying never. That would be ridiculous to say. But it is definitely much more less than a single mom.
Okay, makes sense. I have a question though, but the fathers, right? Where are the fathers?
If the man is not your husband, then he has no obligation to have to commit to the single mom in the first place. He never said he wanted to be your husband. He never made himself your husband. So he really has no duty to her.
Okay. So the person, the female, is not the both of them. Is not the both of them that creating it. Is the female. That's what you're saying. I trying to understand it.
I'm saying, what I'm saying is, yes, they both created the child, but the responsibility, the majority of the responsibility, the majority blame goes to the woman, not the man. She's the one that's held the most responsible, as she
Yeah,
has the most power
I
as a
agree.
woman to either avoid the pregnancy or have the baby.
I agree. I agree. 100%. That's why I would not to anybody ever say that, it's wrong for younger people not to want to have kids. And I would genuinely say to people, hey, if you want to have a child and you get married and you're sure that this person is responsible, then you do whatever you want. That is on you. That is your choice. That is your life. But what happens a lot in society is that we get to this space where we believe that what your choices are, we're supposed to be inflicting it on somebody else. That is the person's chance. That's the person's life. Is they have to live with the consequences, and most of the time, it is the woman that have to live with the consequences. So that's why I say to women, no, ladies, I made a bad choice. I would tell you, don't make that bad choice. She is correct. You should try to get married. You should also make sure that the person you're choosing as a husband is a responsible man, because I also know a lot of women who are married and they are single even though they're married. They are like they're raising their children singly and the father is not really
Okay, no, yeah, no,
like
that just because, okay, now this is where a lot of females, they love to say that a married woman is a single mom. No, that's not true. Unless she's separated, the man and the wife, she's not a single mom basically. Unless they are separated, she's not a single mom. You can't be a single mom and be married. You just have a husband that doesn't support you the way you want him to support you. It's
sense.
just two different things.
I understand. It makes sense. I love that perspective. Makes sense. And you see, that's why we all here to learn, right? We learning, we growing, we moving forward, and hopefully we all make better choices going forward, because we might say that that's bad in one aspect, and you might also be, I'm not saying you as you the host, I'm talking about you as in anybody could be also feeling in a different aspect of life. All of us
Okay, so
look at things in different ways. Mm-hmm.
I have a question. So, it's interesting that you say, okay, we're all learning and we're all experiencing different things in life. So, as someone that has experienced degeneracy, how come you won't admit that single moms are the least desired, since
Well,
you want women to do
I
better?
I don't literally know about I don't really know about who desired and who not desired, because I am not a man and I'm not looking at a woman to be desired or not. So I don't really know. But I would say that you are correct in terms of there are a lot of men who prefer women who don't have kids, and I would say you should, right? You should be in a space where you choose based on what it is you want for your life, but at the same time, you not because somebody is in a situation that is not what you like means you have to put that person down, because all of us are human beings. I might look at you and let's say I have more money than you, so I should look at you as a poor person. That's wild, right? At the end of the
I
day,
mean, if someone is poor, okay, it's one thing. Okay, so if you are a rich person, and if you look at someone and say, "Oh, because you have less money than me, you are poor," yeah, that's illogical. But if the person is actually poor, then that's what it is.
okay,
You will be doing disservice telling the poor person that they are rich financially. You will be doing them disservice saying, "Hey, you can walk into Gucci and get all the bags that you want. You can wake up one day and be a millionaire." But that's
that's
not true. You can't if you are poor.
that's true.
And that's what a lot of Fefails do. You tell each other, well, you can do it all. You are not the least desired, but that's not truth. It's like telling the poor person, go into Gucci and buy what you want.
Yeah, makes sense. It makes sense.
Well,
I guess. Thanks so much for having me. I love the. I'm going to go back in the comments and
okay.
listen because I just passed. I was just passing and I saw the question, right, and I genuinely wish that whether people listening at the end of the day, I am not re-evaluating my life, King. My life is great and I'm happy. I have an amazing
Don't
son.
worry about the comments. Don't
I
worry
I
about the comments. The
I
comments always
I
gets a
I
lot of
have a
people on the panel.
That's true. I have an amazing son, and now he's 16. I would say that it's been the best years of my life raising him. I wish that I would have made a better choice. I honestly do, but I love him very much. And thank you so much for having me. You all have a wonderful night.
Okay, thank you. I would say one thing as well. A lot of females, when they have their children, and they say, "Well, I will do everything I can." The best thing I would say they should do is tell your children not to be with someone like you.
And I would
That's
have,
that
de-
that that's the best
I
thing you
would
could
say,
do.
I wouldn't say I would tell someone not to be someone like me. I would, my, my son would be
No, why
very,
would you do that?
but what
No,
I'm
they wouldn't.
saying
No,
is,
that's not true.
Yes, it is. I would, I would definitely tell him to make sure that
Would
when he
you want
meets
your son? Would you want
what,
your son? Would you want your son to be married to a single mom that got pregnant in high school or when she was young?
girl, I got pregnant when I left university. What are you talking about?
Okay. Well, I said when he was young. Would you want your son to marry a single mom?
If that is his choice, that is his life. At the end of the day, I
No,
raised him
no,
as
no,
best
no.
as
I
I
said
could.
want. I said want. Would you want your son to marry a single mom?
My dear, it is not my choice. That is his life. I don't
It's
have.
not, it doesn't
If
matter. What do
if
you
that
want? Would you
if
want that for him? Would you want him to be with a single mom? It's very simple. I'm sure you wouldn't want your son to be a criminal. I'm sure you wouldn't want your son to
that
be a
is true.
smackhead.
That
I'm
is
sure
true.
you wouldn't want your son to be married with a cheater. So would you want your son to be married to a single mom?
I mean, if he loved the person, sure.
And this is why
But
nothing changes. This is why
no,
nothing
no.
changes. That
I,
whole motivational speak that you just gave us, it doesn't do nothing. You gave it no life because you would
what is
still
your
tell
name?
your son
What is your
to
name?
marry someone like you
No,
who
no, no, no.
failed.
I
Remnant
wouldn't.
princess.
I wouldn't tell him that. I raise him as best as I can, and we have very good conversations now where I would talk to him about the mistakes I make. I wouldn't want him to make it. Of course not, right? And I would always want him to make a choice based on him having a better life. And I wouldn't say having a child. I should say I would say having a child right out of university when I definitely didn't want kids was a very poor choice. If I had to go back and change it, I wouldn't
Most
make that choice.
times, most times in the US, men are forced to pay child support that is not theirs. So they're forced to pay for a child that is not biologically theirs. Would you want that for your son?
I wouldn't want that for nobody. I wouldn't want that for anyone. And it is not right for a woman to take a man on child support and she knows she is sleeping around. That's
So
terrible.
would you want your son? So would you want your son to marry a single mom?
I want my son to
Think about
marry
it.
who I want my son to marry who is the person he loves and who loves him and will treat him well. That's who I don't care who that person is. It is not me to judge that person. That's not my life to live. I raised him as
So
best.
your answer is yes. So your answer is yes. You wouldn't mind your son being with a single mom.
I wouldn't mind
And
no.
he will most likely go to jail for raising a child that's not even his.
With jail girl, my son is a very nice young man. He definitely succeeded at life. So I think that putting that on somebody who is not in that space is wild. But I understand what you mean.
Yes, but if he misses child support payment, he will go to jail. Doesn't matter how nice he is, he will go to jail. So you would want your son to be at disadvantage to just so he can marry a single mom.
But if he married a single mom and that's not his child, how is he going to jail? Is not he supposed to be paying child support? Is it the child's father supposed to be paying child
That's
support?
exactly what happens. That's literally what happens when the man is involved with the mother and the child for a long period of time. He is forced to pay child support, and if he doesn't pay it, he will go jail.
They don't do that in my country, so I'm sorry. So
So
sorry.
I'll say okay then. So you would want your son to be with failure and marry failure. That's what you would want. So you
What my
actually
son
you don't
has.
even care enough about your own son. That's the
If you say
truth.
so,
You don't.
if you
You
say
are
so,
too you are too egotistical to see how you are failing your son and teaching him how to be a simp and to be walked over by other women.
if you say so, okay, cool. You don't know me from nowhere, so you can say whatever you want.
I
It
don't need to I don't need to know you. You are fine with your son being the failure
okay.
because
If you say so.
you are too egotistical to admit that you failed and you don't want your son to be with a failure like you.
I believe I definitely failed because I should not have put myself in a situation to have a child right outside of college. However, my son
Thank
is
you, Yemen.
amazing.
He's
But
clearly not amazing enough, not clearly not amazing enough to find a good woman.
my son is
Clearly,
16.
clearly you don't respect your son enough to help him avoid failing like you did.
Of
You don't
course I
respect your son enough. But I understand that because you're a single mom. You don't respect yourself enough. So you was never going to respect your own seed. That was never going to be passed down. That takes a certain type of intellect, real self-reflection, takes real accountability for a mother to really be in that position to say, you know what, I don't want you to marry someone like me. I don't want you to have children with someone like me. I need you to be the woman that did better than me. You don't want to be in that position.
I definitely do want him to be a man that does better than I did. So I definitely agree with that.
That's not true because you don't mind him marrying a single
That
mom.
that that is true. I don't mind him marrying what he. Remember, if I am teaching somebody and I
So
teach
how do
them
you, so if
how
you
to
if
do
you
how
so
to do
if
better,
you want him to do better than you, how can he do better than you if you marry someone like you?
you're funny.
How could
If
you want him to not be? It's like
I
saying
know
I don't. It's like saying I don't want my son to be a criminal, but you can marry a criminal. What's up with that?
that makes sense. I know people saying how I in talking. If you're speaking and I'm listening to your point, obviously I will sit with it. I am listening to you. It makes sense. And I'm feeling no how. I don't feel sad. I don't feel no how. I understand your point. But if he ends up with a woman like me, I know he will have a damn good life. So
That's a damn lie. Don't
if
lie
you
to
say
yourself like that, and don't
if
lie to
you say
yourself
so,
like that, and don't lie to your son like that. Don't set your son up for failure like
if
that. Don't do
if
that.
you say
You're set. You are setting your
if
son up
you
for
say
failure.
so, if you say so, if you say so.
You want your son to be with someone that was fast and opened their legs out from when they left university. That doesn't make sense.
So
That's
what
what
you
you're
trying to
telling
tell?
me.
So here, you as either you're married or you are a virgin. That's what you're telling me. You're married or you are a virgin.
You don't
That's what
have to
you
have
telling me.
common sense. You know, no, no. You don't. I'm not telling you anything. It's common sense. You want your son to be with
So
someone that's fast. That's what you
so
want. You want your son to be with someone that came out of university and opened their legs and got their cheeks clapped. You don't even want your son to have better standards. You don't think women like that
let me
exist? Or,
let me
or
ask you. Let me
is everyone from where you're from a community boxes? How bad is it? Because that's what it's starting to
so
sound
here,
like.
here it is, right? So let's say I have smacks with one person and me and the person was together and we had smacks 3 times and I got pregnant, I am a community box. Girl, you are
Yes,
well.
facts. Yes, you are. Yes, you are, because he wasn't your husband. You pushed out his baby, and he didn't even see you worthy enough to marry you. She's the one that dropped. I didn't drop her. You are a community box. See, a lot of these females think that being a community box means you're just being ran through. You came out of university and opened your legs to a man that was never your husband. And then you had his baby. And he still didn't marry you. That sounds like a community box. And then you will be the same one to tell your son to marry someone like you. That sounds insane to me. And then be the same one to come here and give motivational speech. You're better off crashing out, because at least we can see who you really are. You have a lot of these females that wanna act like they're above accountability. If you really wanted things to change, you would teach your son to not be with a woman like you. That's where you single moms need to start doing. Tell your sons, avoid women like me. I'm a fast one. Well, the single mom's a fast one. Selfish, egotistical, too prideful to admit that I did wrong. That's what they need to teach their sons. But single moms ain't gonna do that, because you know why? That's a direct reflection of themselves. Now, that type of truth hurts. That type of truth hurts. Single moms ain't doing that. And I wanted to know, are you doing that? Are you telling your son to avoid Fefails like you, single moms like you who failed him? But you would rather punish him to make yourself feel better. That's what a lot of these single moms do. You would punish your children to make the same mistakes so you feel better about yourself. I don't know what type of parent that is, but it's definitely the worst. That's why single moms are the least desired. And on top of that, they'll be the same person to say, my son is amazing. Clearly not. The standard you have for your son is a fast community box. That's the standard you wanna teach your son. The standard is you be the community box. Yeah, so I wanted to hear what she had to say. And I wanted to see, because she mentioned how she has a son and she teaches us on all these things, and it sounded very hypocritical to me. You as a single mom, you want to be this motivational speaker, but you won't admit that single moms are the least desired. That's what they do. They speak with two tongues. One minute you want to say, well, I understand what you're saying, but the next minute you don't actually want to say what you understand. So what's the point? Anyways, I am going to be ending my live. Those were the last guests. So I would say that's my last thoughts. My last thoughts is a lot of these single moms, they need to start teaching their children to avoid women like them. Avoid women like their mother. If you was raised by a single mother, you avoid being like her if you're a daughter. And if you're a son, you avoid being with someone like that. Because a lot of these single moms, they want to watch their children fail. They don't want to see their children do better than them. That's the truth. They're bitter, emotionally unstable, egotistical, and they want to watch their sons and their daughters fail like they did. Because it will be clear as day, you couldn't do any better than they did. Go ahead, Banner. Your last words, please.
Remnant, big up yourself. Have a
Oh,
good day. You already know. Listen, you are a mastermind genius. You got all these little goofy men who need fathers running behind you and gifting you all day and tapping the screen. I think you're a genius. You've tapped into the ability to get goofy men to believe in a narrative that you're portraying here. Single moms are the least desired. By who? Do you date women?
pardon?
Do you date women?
No.
So how do you know they're the least desired?
Because if you take a look at the stats, you will see that every outcome that has happened from a single mom household is complete failure.
All right,
And that
cool.
is
So
the most
are you
undesired reality.
okay? Cool. Are you a black woman? I'm guessing you are. But I don't like to guess. But are you a
Say
black
be
woman?
okay, please. Yes, I'm be
Okay,
okay, but say be okay.
okay. So BLK women, right underneath BLK men, have the most HIV in the world according to stats. Do you have
Okay.
HIV? Do you have HIV?
What does that have to do with the conversation?
So what does that have to do with your stats that you just brought up then? Huh?
Because the prompt says, okay, let me explain. The prompt says single moms are the least desired. Now, if every outcome from a single mom household ends up being a criminal, homeless, is that not the least desired outcome that you would want in society?
Men are still gonna see them and breed them and like them and marry them, and that's just how it goes. You can't stop that. But I like you though. I think you're a genius. Real shit. I think you're one of the smartest people I've seen on here.
Okay.
Facts.
But that's not
I can't
happening
even
though.
take that. Oh, what do you mean that's not
No one's
happening?
marrying them. The marriage
Oh,
rates are the lowest it ever has been. And the number one reason why single moms are single moms is because they've never been married. Now, if that wasn't the case, then maybe this wouldn't be a conversation. But they never get
that,
married with their baby dads. And the marriage rates are so low because they still don't get married. So it's not happening. I'm sure there are some Sims out there who do marry them, but definitely not enough for there to be a phenomenal shift where marriage rates begin to increase.
yeah. The number one reason for black BLK couples not marrying is because the women are way smarter than the men. And the men are booty warriors. Yo, hold up, watch this. Especially these little goofs that like to say a man's a simp, a man's this and that. These are booty warriors, and that's the reason why a lot of us are not getting married because most of these men are booty warriors. They're more interested in Kevin Samuels, red pill, blue pill. They don't go to college and university like our women are. Our women
Okay,
are
I have a
geniuses,
question.
smarter. Why should they settle? Why should they settle with some bum ass goofy men like these guys?
Okay, I have a question. If if women are much more smarter than men, then how come there's more single mothers than single dads? How come there's more baby moms than baby dads if they're so much more smarter than men?
Ah, let me show you why. Because men don't actually carry a child, do they?
Okay, but that doesn't answer the question.
Yeah, it does. It does. Because watch this, sister. Watch. Let me walk with you for a second. If men actually carried the children, they would be the ones single.
Okay, no, that's still not answering the question. If women are smarter, don't you think there'll be less single moms than men if they are
No.
so smart as you claim they are?
Oh yeah, women are definitely smart, genius level. Now this is the thing, right? I agree with what you're saying. Real talk. I can't take away from what you're saying. But this is the thing. For all these single mothers, the men are
I
even
have another
dumber.
question.
Hey, no.
I have
Watch.
another
Let me show you
question.
this. No, I got you,
Oh,
sis. I don't know if this is.
wait. Because you keep saying that men are dumber and women are smarter. If they are so much
Way
more
dumber.
smarter, how come the wait? How come the wait? How come a lot of women wait until they're 35 to freeze their eggs if they are so much more smarter?
Men don't have eggs. They would have waited till they're 70 to freeze their eggs. Just like men don't usually go get checkups at the doctors and check their prostates. The way women go get checkup and take care of themselves, women are directly smarter than these dunce ass men. Real talk. So now watch this. This is the reason why women are usually
If that
single
was true, how come they're the most educated but still make less than men?
Oh, that's because we live in a patriarch society, and most of these men that are claiming that
No,
as a
that's
black
not
man,
that has
that
nothing to
is
do with the
exactly why.
patriarchy.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah. Let me show
They're
you
just
why. Let
not
me show you why.
they're just the truth is they're just not as the reality is if women were really smarter, you would have less single moms. That's the truth. You would have less single moms. They would be smart enough to keep their legs closed and protect their womb. But they're
Listen, I'm
not
gonna show
doing
you
that.
this. Right? No. I feel you. Women keep your legs closed. Men keep your bank account closed. All right, cool. I got you. With this. But let me show you why men are not smarter than women. Because if we look even for the OF, we're not going to say the name and give it too much publicity. You feel me? But the OF models, they be showing feet. And these men be up there thirsty as hell. They got the nerve to call somebody a simp. These dudes are the simps. And look, if they leave a single mother, you know what she can do? She can get their ass thrown in jail for not paying child support. Ha ha. And all the single mothers do that to these goofy ass men. Make sure they pay child support. What are they doing? They're going to say that you guys are bad. They're bad. They're the goofs. They're the idiots. Because bring them to court for child support. All these goofy men leaving women to be single. Yeah. You bring them to court. You get your money. You take care of your child and send his ass to jail.
But that
Facts.
doesn't. But that okay. But that sound it still proves that females are more goofy, more dumb, and less intelligent. Because why are you letting these goofy men impregnate you? It doesn't make sense. If they were so smart, then they wouldn't let these goofy men that you describe have children with them.
Okay, yeah. They're doing okay. Look. I agree. All right, they doing some careless stuff, but the men are even more careless because the men are gonna get thrown in jail. Ha ha! You're gonna go to jail. The rest of the booty warrior and the homo thugs that you like, goofs, Kevin Samuel babies. That's what they are. Ha ha! You're gonna get locked up, and she's
Okay.
gonna goofs.
Okay, go on. Give your last thoughts, please.
All right, so this is what I'm gonna say. You're a genius. You're smart. You're gonna get all these little goofy simp men. They're gonna send you gifts because they're like, "Yeah, I agree with you. Women are so bad. Single mothers horrible. Goofies don't make single mothers, or else they're gonna put your ass in jail. You're gonna be paying child support anyways, sucker. Straight up.
Okay.
I'm off of this. Big up yourself, Remnant. What do you mean?
All right. That was a handful. Okay. Left me a bit speechless. I'm not even gonna lie. There's only a few people that make me speechless, and he's one of them. Okay. But I welcome anyone, anyone that opposes what my prompt is. So yeah, so thank you anyways. Okay, all right. I promise this is definitely my last thoughts. And unless it's a woman. I do give the women a little bit more leeway sometimes. But I have one more person requesting. Go ahead. What would you like to say about the topic?
Oh, okay. Oh my God, that builds the pressure. I'm like the last one. Wow. Okay. Yeah, so it's interesting enough like to listen to this, but the thing is you miss quite a bit, right? Which is like single mothers, right? For the most part, I mean, you are right that they should take some responsibility. But something that you don't you don't ask is other countries, right? Because you talked about the criminality aspect of like them raising criminals, right? And you neglect to mention that actually this is like, did you ever mention like the welfare state that you're living in?
Okay. What do you mean by that? Can you please
Sorry,
elaborate?
I cannot hear. Sorry, I didn't hear. Can you repeat?
Yeah, can you elaborate, about the welfare state? What exactly do you mean? Like, what's the point you're
Yeah,
trying to make? You've lost
you
me a little bit.
take you talk about degeneracy and all that. So when you live in a degenerate society, right? As I assume you are right now in the West, anyway,
Yes.
you can't then you blaming just single mothers. That's like the tip of the end of the like the problem, and and you haven't really. You just said, okay, well, if you keep your legs shut and you know everything is gonna basically be okay. We're gonna have a like better societies, and that's not the case. That's like the horse has left the barn by this point, and
Okay,
for
then. So,
you
what
to
do you think the case is? So, what do you
well
think the case is then?
well just a second. You have first of all you have to correct your society, right? You have basically right now as it stands people who are just having children, right, for the sake of just like it's like a new fad kind of thing, right? It's like a new fad. No one takes parenthood seriously, right? No one gives it a consideration, right? Same thing with marriage. I'm glad actually it's declining now, like, right? That's a good thing that it's actually declining and people are having less um, children, right? That's a good thing. At least now people can just navel gaze, right? You have a society where people are like navel gazers,
Okay, so
right?
it just,
So
all
when
right,
you
okay.
have
So it just, hold on. Okay, I'm trying to summarize what you're saying a little bit.
you
So
have a
it's what it
degenerate
sounds
society
like.
basically.
So you're blaming society. You're basically blaming what the system, society, the system, the government
No,
overall
okay, you're
for
not
the
listening. Okay,
reason.
so I'll repeat.
So what is the
So
reason why for these single mom rates? Why
they
are
are
females
basic.
becoming single moms?
So basically, they were born into a degenerate society. So a degenerate society, when a kid is born into such a society, what do you expect of them, right?
So
Like
you're
I'll give you
blaming
an example.
society then. So you're blaming society
Just
for
a
the reason
second.
why they turn out to be single moms.
What I'm saying is you have to correct the problem at the root, which you're not looking at. I don't expect you to look at that, right?
The root,
That's
the problem of the root, the root of the problem is females chose this. This is what they chose. It has nothing to do with society. For from the beginning of time, society has always promoted women being wives and being traditional. That's what society or the patriarchy, as a lot of females love to talk about, the patriarchy has always promoted traditional values. It's when
and
feminism came in the 1960s where they wanted to promote sexual liberation. This has nothing to do with society. You females
so,
wanted to be liberated and open your legs.
sure, you could say that. I mean, that is part of the problem, right? That is,
That is the problem. That is the problem.
but okay, you also mentioned, feminism being like also a root cause of that. I mean, it's odd to me, like someone like you who actually benefited from feminism, right? That for you then to turn around and
I
do
did
this
not benefit from
undoing, you
feminism. I did
did
not. No,
because
I did not benefit from. No,
because
no,
you're
no,
not.
no. I
Wait,
did
just
not
a second.
benefit.
So the average woman in whether it's in the UK or the US, right, where this kind
I
of
didn't benefit
ideology,
from
just a
feminism.
second, where this kind of ideology actually took a hold, right? You would be actually where 100 years ago, 200 years ago, where were women basically, right? The thing is, there's been a change in society as it has been throughout humanity, right? There's a change, and the change that we have today in the
I
year
am okay.
2026.
Okay, let me make this clear. Okay, I am where I'm at not because of feminism, but because of BLK men. Okay, BLK
Sorry,
men were
BLK.
the ones who fought. Yes, BLK not has nothing to do with feminism. Feminism only helped the YT women in society, not
What did
me.
BLK men do for you? Sorry.
BLK men fought for BLK people's rights. Different activists that have come through many waves of lives, many different time periods.
Actually, that's okay. That is not
Feminism.
correct because
What do you mean that's stupid? What do you mean that's
So
not correct?
no,
what does that even
that's
mean?
not correct.
So are you telling me? So are you telling me people? Hold on. So wait. Are you telling me people like Malcolm X didn't make a difference in the BOK community? It was feminism that did.
No. That's not what I said at all.
No. What do you mean? No. You said BOK men. No, wait. You said that BOK men didn't help BOK women. So are you telling me people like Malcolm X? What do you mean that's not correct? So you're telling me people are you telling me people like Malcolm X didn't help BOK women, but feminism did?
Okay, no, that's not what I said. Please don't put words into my mouth. It's best if we just try to listen to each
Okay,
other.
then. So why won't you accept? So why is it hard for you to accept? Why is it hard for you to accept that it wasn't feminism that helped me? It was BOK men.
So
They're the ones who fought for my rights. They're the ones who fought for my freedom. Not YT feminists.
First of all,
YT feminists didn't fight for BOK people's rights. What are you talking about?
Okay, again, we go back to this ungratefulness. It's a white man who gave you actual freedom, right? And who freed you from slavery. It wasn't
I said fought. I said fought. Listen to my words. I said fought. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. They did. They did. So are you telling me Malcolm X? So are you telling me Malcolm X didn't fight for any rights for BOK people? Is that what you're saying?
MLK was just one man, first of all, and he was.
There's multiple people. There's multiple people. There's people like Patrice Lumumba. You telling me he didn't fight for BOK people's rights?
He's unalived. He was actually, and he's.
Yeah, all of these people I've mentioned are unalived. Yes, we understand that. But these are the people that have helped BOK people.
How did? Okay, so just a second. Today in the black
a lot of these people have made a lot of countries independent. How are you saying they didn't help?
They haven't. So the degeneracy that you see, to go back to the point of the family, is the degeneracy you see today, like with single moms, which I agree with you.
No, I don't want to. Yeah, but you
it's more prevalent. What I'm trying to connect, and you're not really tracking, is the thing is.
No, what you're not tracking is say BOK because you want to go back to the family when you made a false claim. Feminism didn't help.
To connect, so if you would let me, please.
Go ahead.
Okay, let's just have a decorum, please. Okay, so.
You have decorum because nothing that you're saying is remote. Nothing that you're saying makes sense. Nothing that you're saying is respectful. It's an outright insult, and it's a lie.
How is it an insult? I'm just spitting out.
Because you believe that feminism is what gave BOK women their rights. That's crazy to me.
BLK, for a lot of women in the West,
no. It gave YT women their rights, not BOK women. It didn't give anybody their rights other than YT women.
Man. So you have a bank account. You can hold your own bank account because of BLK.
Yes, I can. Yes. Because without BOK men, we wouldn't have any rights. That's the point. Why is that so hard for you to believe?
So look, if you look at
you want me to worship you, that's what it is. You want me to praise the YT women. That's not happening.
Your community, okay, if you look at your community today, you will see that a lot of BLK women don't respect BLK men precisely because of the history that you have. Slavery and being denigrated in front of them, right? So what has the BLK man left? He has nothing. He doesn't have anything to offer today. He didn't have anything to offer to you. It was actually the white.
It doesn't matter. No. He. This is what you YT feminists do. No. This is what you white feminists do. Is you try to divide BOK women and BOK man. That's what you do. And this is why. Is this. Single mom household is breeded and fed by feminism. It's because of you Fefails out there that pushed sexual liberation and made everyone think that, hey, they can be liberated and open their legs. Is why there's so many single mom households.
And what would you compare?
It's nothing to do with society. It's nothing to do with BLK men.
So
It's,
what I'm
it's
saying
because
is
of
it's a working.
feminism and the whole
No.
sexual liberation movement is why
Well,
females today have
and
high
your
single mom rates because
and
they
your
listen to
community fell
females
for
like
it.
you. Yes,
No.
yes, yes, they did
No,
because of
the only
females
evil
like you
is you.
because
You're
you
actually swallowing
lie.
this like
You
a cum.
lie. That's what
You
you do. That's
swallowed
what you
this like
feminists do. You lie.
It's okay. So how
You
many?
lie
Okay,
and make
what's the
it seem
stats
like you
of
gave us our rights
what
when you
is
didn't.
what's the single parent rate of black women versus
Be
white
okay.
BLK?
Yes, be okay. Yes, be okay. Yes, be
So
okay.
you have the
Females
most
do have the
failed
highest.
community,
Hold.
and you have.
Yes, because of YT feminists like you who come in here and lie and say that BOK
I'm
men
just
didn't do
pointing at the
nothing for you.
facts.
That's a damn lie. That's not a fact. That's not a fact. The fact is, when the sexual liberation happened, when cosmopolitan happened, BOK females listened to females like you. They listened to you and actually
So you're
believed
still
that
slaves.
everyone else is their problem.
Wow. So you're still slaves.
Wow, are you shocked? Yes, are you shocked? Are you
Why are
shocked?
you
Because
like? I mean,
YT females like you lie. That's why.
wow. Females like me? Wow. Okay. First of all,
Yes,
I'm not
yes.
a black single mother, so I wouldn't
You don't
qualify
have
as
to
a
be. You don't
female.
have to be. You don't have to be. You don't have to be a BOK single mom to be a
But what I'm
female. You do know
saying
that,
is, the
right?
thing is, okay, so
Yeah.
you
There's
have to
no
come
race
up
to the
with.
word female. There's no race for the
There
word
is
female,
actually.
dummy.
There is
No, there
actually.
isn't. There
Oh,
actually
you're
isn't.
triggered. Okay,
You are
so
a typical. You are a typical YT female. That's what
okay.
you are. There's no race to that word.
You're living in my country, right? Like, I mean, in the white countries, right? Like, where is
In
your
Western
country?
society.
In Western
Why would I
society.
tell
Why
you
are
that?
you
I
there?
would never tell you that.
Why would you, like, I mean, why are you in Western countries then if you're so, like, I mean, you have this ungrateful attitude, right? You don't have anything to offer, no solution, right? Just rudimentary.
I do
just
have a
like,
solution actually. I will tell you the solution. The solution is BLK women should start submitting to BLK men. That's the solution. The solution
think
is to
that's
separate ourselves. The solution is to separate ourselves from females like you. You are cancer to our community. We need to separate every ideology that you females have taught us. That's what we need to start doing. We need to start listening to BOK men and stop listening to females like you. That's the solution.
Well, BLK men have failed you, right? I mean, have you forgotten slavery?
That has nothing to do with you.
you.
The solution is stop listening to you. The solution is to stop listening to females like you.
Sure, that's what
You
I'm
are the
saying.
last person. You are the last person. You are the last person that knows what success is going to be like in our community. You need BLK females to be failures so you can thrive.
No, I don't. Okay. So
You
the thing
don't.
is,
You don't want.
there's
You
no
don't
benefit
want.
in
You
it for
don't want
me.
BOK. You don't. You don't want BOK. That's a damn lie. That you don't want BOK women to
triggered.
submit to BOK
Please,
men
please,
because you know damn well. No, I'm not triggered. I'm just telling you the truth because you're just
but you
coming here
keep talking-
lying.
Okay, so so right now you're in the UK, right? So you're benefiting from a white society, and you have the audacity to be so ungrateful to talk back like you just did. Like, I don't
No one
understand.
is
Why don't you
benefiting
get-
from anything. See, this is what you females
don't you
think.
feel-
No,
The only female
hold
is
on.
you
You
who
don't.
doesn't have any country or anything.
You think that we are benefiting from being under your thumb. No, no one's benefiting from your society. I wish
Why are you
BOK
here, then?
females could wake up. I wish
Why are
BOK females could wake up because that's none of your business. That's why.
Yeah, but that's what
Whatever
you're not able
I'm
to
doing,
build.
no, hold on. No, the only way we could be able to grow in our community if we stop listening to females like you and start listening to BLK men. That's the solution. And then you will see us separate from you. But BLK females want to listen to YT feminists like you and open their legs and be failures. That's the crazy part. I never understand these feminists that come and say we are the ones that gave you our rights. That is not true and far from the truth.
The BLK man didn't give you rights. That's for damn sure.
The BLK man has done more than any of you YT females will ever do.
Okay, but by being
Okay.
a slave. Okay, okay. I consent. I concede to that. But you know,
Yeah,
they beat us to
I don't, I
sleep
put,
under the
listen,
thumb of the white
whatever,
man.
listen. You feminists, you YT Fefails have always seen BLK people as braves. That's never going to change. Even before bravery, even before colonization, you have always seen BLK people as braves. So what you're saying doesn't
As
mean
what?
anything.
As sorry, what? As what?
Don't say the word slaves. I say braves. So you telling me that you see us like that is nothing new.
Right now, like
You
this,
will always see us like that. So it is what it is.
no, I mean it's not the case. But the thing is, that's just
That
a
is the
part of
case.
history.
That is the case because
So you
you
were
literally
not.
said it.
You were
You
not.
always
At
have
one point,
seen.
did
You
you?
have always seen. Hold on. No, it's not. You have always seen BLK people as braves, even before bravery. When the
No.
YT man first started it, you already saw BLK people as inferior. So this is nothing new. This mindset
Wait,
has
how did it become that way
your
though? How did it?
mindset, your
You are
I'm not
inferior
talking about
because
the
you
how.
are.
Wait. That's what I'm seeing. That's my point. You always have seen BLK people like that from the beginning.
It's only what you give to others that, you know, that's how they perceive you. If you're inferior, it means you're a low quality individual who sold themselves as
Yes,
such.
but there's a lot of BLK females are low quality individuals because they listen to females like you. They need to
No,
start
my
listening
dear.
to BLK men. Yes. So
It's
you
not
really
our
think
problem
that
to keep the
so
message
hold
low
on.
because we're not actually behaving like your BLK, as you call it, females.
I
Are we
know.
now?
I
So why
know.
is that?
That's why I
We're no
say
failure, are we?
hold on, yeah. Well, if there's YT single moms, then they are failures. The
I
reality is
agree with you. Let's
that's
put
the
it loose,
problem.
of course.
That's the problem is that they should have never listened to you. That's the biggest problem.
No, they
See,
took the message
I'm
wrong.
not blaming. No, it doesn't matter about the message. They should have never listened to you.
When
They
it comes
should
to
you they should have
well, when
never integrated with YT feminists. That was the problem. The
but my
problem
dear,
was they let your message in our community. That should have never happened.
but my
That was the
dear,
problem.
you are in our community. You are free to go. You're free. I mean, you have been freed how many years now? Like hundreds of years. But you're still gonna be at our feet. I mean, I don't understand. You are a free woman. Any BLK or BLK woman, man, whatever. You are free.
Are
No
you
one is.
not listening? Are you not listening to my
No
English? I'm saying the
forcing.
problem is
Listen, the message hit your people the wrong way. You would agree with me, right? They took the wrong message, ran with it, and basically that was it, right? So you have to actually go back to yourself, re-examine, right?
so that and I just want to make this clear that that's not true because in the US anyone with a felony can't get a passport and leave the country. So they're actually
And
stuck there.
so they're felons.
So they can't just leave.
Wait, why are they felons? I didn't understand this.
Either way they can't leave.
Because they're
That's the point.
felons. So you,
Yeah, but they can't leave. So
so
you
whose
telling people,
problem
oh,
is it
leave.
then?
A lot
Whose
of people,
problem? Whose
but
problem is
that's
it
my.
that they are
So what? So
felons?
that's. Hold on. That's the point.
Don't
Not
do the
everyone
crime if
can
you
leave.
can't do the
That's
time,
the
though.
point.
Isn't that what you
Yeah,
say?
but that's the point, though. So what you're saying isn't true. Not everyone can leave.
Well, you can.
That's
Don't
all
be a
I'm saying is that
criminal.
you can't. No,
Don't. Oh, you're not even tracking at
it
this
still
point.
goes. Yeah, duh. We understand that. Yes, I understand that. Duh. Don't be a criminal. But what you're saying isn't a fact.
Yeah, but there's hundreds of them who are not criminals, right? Like you. I mean, I assume you're not a criminal. Hopefully, and you can leave anytime because you're saying we want to separate ourselves. Let the BLK man build the country for you and
What about
leave.
okay? What about the BOK men that were falsely accused,
By who?
falsely incriminated?
By
What do you
who?
mean
By
by
the
who? You was
BLT?
quick to tell us about society, by
Yeah, by BL,
YT, by the
by BL.
system that was created. Hold on, by the system that was created by YT people. So what about the BOK men, the millions of BOK men that were falsely accused, Falsely incriminated.
Okay, those numbers are insignificant.
So what happens to them? What happens to them then?
They
No,
are
they're not
exonerated.
insignificant because that was millions. No, they're not exonerated. That's a damn lie. You telling me millions? That's not true.
It's not
That
even
is
near
not true.
millions,
That
my
is the
dear.
damn lie.
My dear,
It
it's
is
not
near
even
millions. This has been happening for years. What are you talking about?
What are the
Now you're
accused
just
of?
lying. Now you're just
What are they
lying.
what are
Now
they
you're
accused
just
of?
lying.
Okay, you are crashing
A
out.
lot
Please just calm
for
down.
so many different crimes. For so many different crimes. I'm not crashing out, but you are being disingenuous.
But
Because
there
you're
is a thing
saying, well, it's
about
not their fault for being criminals, but then hold on, but then you won't admit that a lot of BOK men have also been falsely
you're
accused and have
disingenuous
falsely
because
been
you know they commit
incriminated.
the most crimes, right? In the UK, in the US, in Canada.
But you're not listening to what I'm saying. What about the ones that didn't commit crimes and were still incriminated?
Insignificant number. Insignificant number.
It's not an
my dear.
insignificant number. No, it's
It
not.
is. It's
That happens nearly every
insignificant
single
number.
day.
It's
It's
insignificant.
not. That
my
happens
dear.
nearly every single day. That happens every day till this day.
Okay,
That
I'll
happens every single
entertain
day
you. Okay,
where
I'll
where
entertain you.
BOK people are stereotyped and criminalized for no reason other than
Do you
existing.
have a number? Do you have a number, my dear?
Why are you lying? Why
My
are
dear,
you
be
lying? This
logic with me.
happens.
Be
No,
logic
you
with me.
be
Like, you wanted
logical
logic.
because you were the
No.
first person. You was hold on, no, you was the first person to come on my panel and tell me about the society, tell me about
Well,
the
the
government.
degeneracy in your
But now when
society,
I
that's
tell
what I'm
you,
saying.
but now when I tell you how
have
the
nothing
society
to
and
back
government
up.
treats BOK people, no, hold on.
They
Now,
do. They
now
do,
when
and
I
I
tell you how when I tell you how society and the government treats BOK people, now I'm being illogical. What are you talking about?
Are because first of all, okay, can I please talk? Because you've been talking over me and it's just not productive. Okay, please. So the thing is, even though that they are in the UK and the US, is really a small minority, right? The BLK, as it were, they make up of most criminals, like, right? When you look at the incarceration rates, and you would agree with me, like, and you even said yourself, like, when you were talking with
Yeah, because
other,
but you are not talking about the ones that have been falsely. I keep asking for the same question. What about the ones who have been falsely incriminated?
oh my gosh, you keep going back to
You keep
this.
saying
Do you have a number?
yeah, because you don't want to admit that a lot of BOK people are falsely incriminated and have been falsely incriminated for years. That hasn't changed.
So they do. I'm not disagreeing with you. Just the numbers that we are disagreeing with. You're saying millions
But you
and
don't want to
millions of them. Which is
yes, there
ridiculous.
is
You know
millions. Yes, it's
ridiculous.
not
Come on.
ridiculous. It's
It
not
is.
ridiculous. They make money sending BOK people to prison. Don't you know that? It's not
Yes,
ridiculous.
because
They make money
committed
sending BOK
crime.
people
They're
to prison.
criminals.
No, but what about the ones that didn't commit crime and was incriminated?
That's an insignificant number, and they are usually like.
It's not insignificant. It's not insignificant if they make money. If they make money from them, it's not insignificant. No, it's not. It's not. It is not. It's not insignificant.
It's insignificant.
And this is why I say BOK Fefails have failed themselves, because there's no
Yes,
way
they
you
do,
will
yes.
be a part of this YT feminist movement.
Of course, because
It
we
doesn't even
didn't
make sense.
they interpreted the message wrong. So what I would say to you, my advice is, go into your community.
I don't want your advice. I don't want your advice. Don't you get that? I don't want your advice. No.
the
There's
same
nothing
way-
wise about you.
well,
Why don't you speak to your other
single mothers
YT
out there.
women? Why don't you speak to advise your
Because
YT
you're
women? Don't
failing.
advise me.
You're failing.
I
You're
don't
coming
care.
from a
I don't
failure.
care how you think about me.
And-
That's what you feel. I don't want your advice. Go advise your community. Go advise YT women.
another
Don't advise
failure.
me. I don't want to listen to you.
Fail. Okay.
Yeah, I'd rather listen to BOK men, not a YT Fefail.
you're not doing a
okay,
good job
that's
of
what
listening
I
to them
want to do.
because you have not-
I want to do that. Okay, so I don't want your
but
advice.
don't listen
Keep
to
your
them
advice.
then.
You're just here to prove me wrong. Don't advise me.
No, but okay.
Okay. Don't advise me. I don't want your advice. I just want you
would
to
be
prove
wise
me
to take
wrong.
an advice. It's a
No, I
friendly
don't
advice.
want your advice. Don't you understand English? I don't want your advice.
Crashing out. Ouch.
But you're telling me something I don't want. I don't
Crashing
want your
out.
advice. I want
Well,
you to
opened
prove
a
me
lie,
wrong.
my dear. My dear.
Yeah, I didn't ask for advice. I asked for you to prove me wrong. Can you not read the prompt? Can you not read the prompt? Does the prompt say I want advice, or does the prompt say prove me wrong?
Okay, so the thing is, right, with the going back to the prompt, right? Let's just calm down. Okay. So just going back to the prompt, right? There you say that they are the least desired, right? And I was basically just correcting you, right, in the nuanced way, that there is actually a little bit of nuance that you forgot, which is this is not a problem that faces a lot of communities in the world. It's prevalent in your community, right? And that's why they're even for like there was a study done a couple of years ago where they looked at and said BLK women were the least desired, not because they were single moms. It's just
Okay,
looks they didn't.
okay.
I mean, so that I agree with you.
What's
But
the
this is
what's the point? That so?
but it's
Do you agree with the prompt? Yes or no? I don't understand your point. It sounds like you're just here just to rant. What's are
rant.
you? Do you agree with the prompt?
Oh my
Yes. Do you
dear,
agree with the prompt? Yes or no?
dear, listen to me, please. So in the prompt that says single moms are the least desired, right? You haven't
Yes.
actually given us like any like substantial proof to your argument other than like some covert examples from your community which you don't express. You just blanket. Oh wait,
I know
okay.
it's
Can you
all
give me?
every stat that I've given. Hold on, every stat that I give is not just from the BLK community. It's just about single moms in general. When it comes to the crime rates, when it comes to the AB rates, these are just general stats. Now, when I speak to BLK women, sometimes I will tell them stats about the BLK community. But overall, my stats are for every single mom. When you go on government websites, majority of the times they give you an overall summary of what the single mom's outcome is. And then if you want to take a look at the BLK stats, that's something you can do and maybe on another page. But
Sure,
these stats are just overall, not
but
just
this is
BLK.
but this is something that has interested me. So you have single moms in other countries as well as North America, UK, and Europe and whatnot. So why is it that there is more like the aspect of criminality when we look at that? Why is it that there is more of this incidents, let's say, right, of them raising boys, let's say, who turn out to be criminals, whereas you don't see in other countries? Why is that? Because I already know
Why
the
there's
answer.
more why there's more crime in Western society than the second and third world countries? Is that what you're asking?
In terms of like for single moms, like when you look at specifically for single moms, because there is actual
Because what that's yeah, the reason why is because when you give Fefails the autonomy to do whatever they want, they do what Fefails do best, be degenerate.
okay. And what would you say is the solution then? Like in a Western country, what would you say is the solution to this? Like
Oh yeah,
you just said,
I'm not here to yeah, when it comes to Fefails in general, I'm not here to give them solutions. I'm just here to debate about the consequences. They can do whatever they want.
well, I mean, you just said, well, they when you give them the freedom to do what they want, right? So are you suggesting we take their freedom away? Like because that's something you're arguing
No.
for?
No, I never said take their freedom away. I'm just saying when you give someone their freedom and they choose to be degenerate, that's because that's who they are. There's nothing you could do about that.
There's a lot of degenerates in
Single
the
moms,
world, right?
single moms were born to be failures, and that's just what it is. They were born to be single moms because they were always degenerates.
Of course. Yeah. So, but the thing is, like, you're not taking this to the next level, which is basically you brought the very interesting point, which is you said, I mean, in a society, they're given like freedom to do whatever they want. So this is the choice that they make. So that girl, would you say then, I mean, or the child, let's say, who is born into that society, do you think that they were given the best leg, I mean, or the best start in life? I mean, if they're making poor
From the single
choices,
mom household. From the single mom household.
sure, yeah. I mean, like
Well, of
that's
course
like a
not.
okay.
If the child was raised in a single mom household, then she was born into a disadvantage.
And in that case, right, like when you say like, because the criminality, like you said, the stats say that basically they're more likely to be criminals, right? Join gangs
Yes.
and all that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, why isn't that like, I mean, like it's not, I mean, it's prevalent in one community, like I said, more than any
Okay,
others.
then. Okay. So what's the point you're trying to make?
Well, I mean, do you think, I mean, because the thing is, I mean, when you like the debate, you have like you say you bring your like point and you say, okay, this is what should like happen, A, B, C.
I mean, you're just proving me right. You're telling me all you said is more prevalent in the BLK community. Okay,
Which you
I know
agree.
this. So, well, yes, I do. So then
Yeah, but
you're
it's
just
not.
proving me right. You're not. Hold on. You're just proving me right. You're not proving me wrong.
Oh, of course. Didn't I say that from the start, my dear? Because the thing is, I'm not against you, but what I'm here basically hearing is like, what is the like the difference? Like that's the one question that has like really got me like thinking is what is the difference between other countries' single moms and let's say UK or you know US? What's the difference?
Other countries are more traditional, so it's most likely less going to happen. But I mostly talk about Western society because I'm more familiarized with it. But the
So
simple
basically,
answer
the
is they're just
Western. Sorry, go ahead.
no, they're just more traditional.
Ah, they're
So
more traditional.
they'll less likely be more single moms in these other countries compared to Western
Yeah, but there
society.
are. That's what I'm saying. Like there are. When you compare the
Yeah,
single
of
moms.
course. Yeah, they of course they exist, but it's more prevalent in Western society
Yeah, and again, and why is that? Why is that prevalence?
because in Western society they are less traditional. They are more promiscuous.
Okay, and is being traditional better?
Um, I would personally would say yes, but a lot of Fefails are not traditional. So
Yeah, but I mean, the thing is, even, I mean, personally, even you, like, I mean, you're not like you think it is, right? Right? So you seem like the hesitance, you seem like not convinced because you know what it entails, right?
no,
So
it's not
there,
that I'm not convinced. Is I don't want to tell people what I think is better for them.
but you
So
do.
I try to
You did.
not. No, I don't. I don't try. I tell them the consequences behind it. So you, as a female, if you want to spread your legs open, you do that. But the consequence is going to be you're going to be the
What
least
makes you think
desired.
I'm a
The
female?
cons.
Sorry, what makes you, because you're getting personal, and I don't know why you're getting personal. Like you, if
I
you
mean,
tell
don't
me
take it
I'm a female.
personal. I have a lot of females like you that come on. Yeah.
Yeah, but what makes me a female?
Everything that's come out your mouth is what makes you a female.
By me telling you the facts, that's a female for you. Like what? And you started
Yeah,
cracking
your
out,
whole mentality.
which
The
is
fact that
what?
you have an issue, with me saying that BLK women should submit to BLK men, the fact that you will argue against that
No, and then you
is
went
female
ahead.
mentality.
No, you went
The
ahead
fact
of
that you think,
what?
that anybody else has given BLK people any type of right is a female mentality.
No, that is a
That's
failure
the
on your
clear cut.
part. Okay, you need to read some
Okay.
books. But the point is, you seem to be not submitting to a BLK as you were male. I mean, you're
You
sitting
don't
here
know that,
hours on end, sitting here, right? You're not serving your man. That's not a traditional
but you don't know
woman to
that.
me. Oh, you don't know
Okay,
that.
then,
Of
but
course I do.
you don't know that.
But you don't know
No,
me
you
either, but
don't.
you keep calling me female. So, I mean, I get to do the same to
Huh?
you. I mean,
I know. That's what you wish. You wish. Do you know what it
no,
is? You
but the thing
wish.
is, no,
Hold on,
you're a
hold on.
strong
You wish.
black female.
Wait.
Yeah,
Hold on.
okay.
Hold on. You wish I don't submit to a BOK man. You
You
wish I
don't.
didn't have a strong BOK man. No, you wish that. But that's
No.
not true. You don't know
It's
nothing about
obvious.
me.
He's
But
behind you.
you
He's in the
desperately, it's
background. You
not,
can
no,
hear him.
it's obvious that you're wrong. That's the truth. I know it hurts you. I know it hurts you so much that I respect BOK men. I know it hurts you. I know it irritates you. I know it irritates you. I know it irritates you that I want BOK women to submit to BOK man. I get it. You want me to have this female, hold on. You want me to have this female mentality and female ideology to make yourself feel better about your failure. You failed, and that's why you want me to be a part of that. I get it. That's why you are the opposition. Don't project that reality on me. Don't project that reality on me that you failed. It is not my fault. Hold on. It's not my fault. It is not my fault that you are still in the streets. Okay? You are still full-time in the street getting your cheeks clapped. Okay? Maybe I'm not projecting nothing. I'm not projecting anything. I'm not projecting anything. I'm telling you is that you are upset that every man that laid down with you didn't see you as a wife. And I know a lot of times, as you, and you know what the worst part is? And you know what the worst part is, right? See, in the BOK community, I know why a lot of females have failed. But in whatever community you're in, you still failed. The one that usually does well, the one that usually gets married, the one that usually have thriving children. Here you are, a female, no husband, getting your cheeks clapped, and supposing you ain't the inferior one. What happened to you? You failed.
Wait.
You failed. You failed. You failed.
My dear,
see, I know why BOK females. I know why BOK females do what they do. But what is crazy to me is when other nations fail with every privilege that you have, with every power that you have, you still failed in your own community. That is much more worse. You have more rights, more power, more access to information, and you're still a community box. And you have the nerve to talk about BOK females? You need to take a hard look at yourself. You need to take a hard look at yourself. I'm not crashing out. I speak to everyone like this.
No, you don't.
I speak to everyone like this. I really do.
You're angry for some reason.
I'm not angry. I'm embarrassed for you. I'm embarrassed for you that you failed your own community. You're literally a community box. In your community, they get married. What happened to you? In your community, you should be a wife. But you are in the streets.
Okay.
I'm embarrassed for you. You shamed your own parents. You shamed your own grandparents.
Okay, are you done?
You can't even blame anyone. You can't even blame the system. You can't even blame society. You can't blame history. You just chose to be a community box.
Are you calm now?
You're a typical female.
Listen. So what I'm saying is, like, the thing is, you keep right now. You just went into personal insults and all that. The thing is, if you actually
you went personal. You went personal.
No, listen. So the thing is, you kept calling me Fefails before I even whatever. Right? It's okay.
Yes, I called you Fefail, but I didn't care about what you did with your life. I just know your mentality is a Fefail.
Well,
if it wasn't true, then you would never have to respond to it. But you got offended because you know it's true.
Offended by the
people call me pick me all the time. I don't let it trigger me because I don't care.
My dear,
but you know damn well you are a female, and that's why you don't like it. I'm not triggered. I'm just telling you the truth. Do you know how many females? Hold on. How do you know?
How many? You keep talking about with every woman that.
Yes, because listen to how you speak. Listen to how you speak. You got tricked. You didn't like the fact that I called you a female because you know it's true. Do you know how many people call me pick me? Every time I open this app, whatever live I go on, people call me pick me every single day. I'm like, okay, cool. I am a pick me.
Couldn't care
I'd rather
less
be a.
what you are.
I'd rather.
Yeah,
I'd rather.
you be a
Hold on.
pick-me.
I'd rather be a pick me than a Fefail like you.
No,
But
actually,
why don't you?
I'd
Why
rather
don't?
you
Why
be.
don't? Why don't you
Oy
hold
vey.
your Fefail crown? Hold it proud. Be the proud community box that you are.
It seems that right now you're really crashing hard for like me being like a female, and you know in your heart of heart I am not. But listen to me.
You definitely
So,
are. You
okay, so
definitely are a
because I told you
FIFO.
to be
And
grateful for feminism, because I told you to be grateful.
everyone in your community knows that you are. I told you why I called you a FIFO. I told you that. If you were so, I thought you was intelligent in your community. I told you that. I told you why I think you are a FIFO. Because you have a problem with BOK women submitting to BOK man. That's why I call you a FIFO. I made it very
You didn't even let
clear.
me finish. You didn't even let me finish, actually. I didn't even get to respond to that, and you just went into a
You did
monologue.
respond.
But
You
you
did
said
respond
about
to it. You said a
BLK not
lot.
saving
You
you.
said a
Listen,
lot.
you said about BLK,
Yes,
and I said
yes,
that's
yes, they
incorrect.
did. Yes,
Not
they
about
did.
submitting.
I don't.
Please listen,
It's
okay?
not. It's
It
not
seems to me like
incorrect. It's not
you're not
incorrect. You see. You
tracking
see. This is my
with.
point. This is my point. You have an issue every time I say BOK women should submit to BOK man. You have a problem with that. Now you want to say BOK men didn't do
Yeah,
nothing
but
for
the
you.
horse has.
BOK men didn't fight for you. What's your
The
problem?
horse
Huh?
has left the barn is all. I'm
Why
just pointing the facts at you. You know
why
facts.
does it bother
You
you
know,
so much that
but you
I
know what
want
facts
BOK
are.
women to submit to their BOK man? Why does it hurt you
My
so much,
dear,
huh? Why
they
hasn't
should
your man
submit.
married you?
They should submit.
Why
They
hasn't the men
should.
in your nation why hasn't the men in your nation married
And
you,
how
huh?
do you know? Wait. How do you know
Why
I'm not
hasn't the men
married?
in your nation married you? With that mentality?
Wait a minute.
If
Oh
any man
yeah,
has married
you
you, if any man has married you, you definitely are
you
the
think a
masculine one.
BLK woman? Wait, do
You
you
are
know
the
the
one
rate for
who goes
BLK
toilet standing
marriage?
up.
Do you know the BLK marriage like compared to whites? That is the most
Yes, I
like
know this. You're
disingenuous.
not telling me
Like
anything
you're just
new.
jealous. Like I mean, I don't understand
I'm
why you're
jealous.
upset.
I'm
Listen,
jealous.
listen. Be grateful.
And
Be grateful to people.
this is
Don't
why I
bite the
say
hand
you
that
are
feeds you.
FIFO. This is
The
why I
only
say you are
female here is
FIFO.
you, who sits for
You
hours
are
on end
FIFO because
and who
you get
doesn't serve
triggered
her
every
husband.
time I say BOK women should
Okay,
submit to BOK man. It
but you're
bothers
not
you.
doing that. But you're
It
not doing
bothers
that.
you. It bothers you. It bothers you. It
You're
shouldn't
not
bother
doing
you
that,
this
my dear.
much. It shouldn't bother you this
You're
much that
childish
I
right
want
now. Okay,
BOK
I'll
women
let you
to
crash out.
submit to
Okay,
BOK
crash out.
man.
Okay, go ahead.
No one's crashing out. I'm just speaking facts.
Okay, you can go ahead. You can finish. Let it all out. Just let it all out. Because it seems like you have a lot of bent up. I mean, maybe you got
You
chicks
ain't
clock one
proving
too many times.
you ain't proving anything wrong. You're just here ranting. You ain't proving anything wrong. You're telling me things that I already know. Okay,
Oh my
BOK
dear.
women are the least married. I know this. You're not proving me wrong.
Which includes you.
That's
So
why I
what makes
say
you so special?
that's
What
why
makes you more
that's why
special? What makes you more
because you don't know
special?
anything about me. That's why.
But you seem to
That's
know
why I
a lot
say
about me, though. You come here,
you
farming
wish
for
sh-
likes.
uh, because
Disingenuous. You're
every
being a
time
liar.
let me
You're a
okay
liar.
if you was truly a
You're
traditional
disingenuous.
woman
I'm pointing that out.
if you was truly a traditional woman, me saying that BOK women submitting to BOK men wouldn't bother you. You would be like, you know what, that's true. Yes, you should have more families. Yes, you should be together. That wouldn't bother you.
But that's not in their nature. That's not in their
Hold on,
nature. That's not how
that would
God made
actually
them.
hold on, that would actually be a satisfying solution. But when I said
No,
that, it
polygamy
almost
serves you
angered
better.
you. The first
No.
thing you wanted to do was to shame BOK men and bash them. You wanted to bash
It's
men
a
that's not even
fact.
in your
How is
own
it all my?
community.
It's a fact, my dear.
That's another reason why you are a FIFA, because you are comfortable bashing men that's not even in your own community.
Okay.
Because I said that women in our community should submit to their God-given man.
But how
Why
should
does
they
that
submit?
bother you so much? Does
Explain.
it even
How
make
should they submit?
why does it
Just
bother
not even
another
listening.
nation? Why does it
Wait.
bother another nation so
Can you
much
answer this?
that
Can
their
you
women
answer
should
how they
submit
should?
to BOK man?
How should they submit? Can you answer that, please?
You don't know what the word submission is? Maybe
Yeah, but
you need to read a book. Maybe you
I
need to
think
read a
you're
book. Don't you know
crashing
what the word
out.
submission is?
She just exposed that she's not married.
What she's wow.
What is submission?
If you was a married woman, you would know what submission is. You just exposed there's no man in your life. Because only single females like you would ask such a stupid question. What is submission? A married woman would never
Don't
say
have a
that.
man like yours in the background, like a female, like another sex
There's
female
no
like
man in your life. That's why. Why don't you know what
that.
submission is?
My dear, I asked
So
you
much.
what you meant, but
Maybe,
you can't even
maybe,
answer
maybe
that.
you are the one because
Just
you. Why don't you know? Why don't you
where
know?
is
Why
your
don't you know what the
why
word
are you not
submission
taking
is?
care? Why aren't you
Why
taking
don't
to your
you know
hand?
the word submission? Why does it trigger you
No,
so much? Why does it trigger you so much that I want BOK women to be with BOK man?
but you
Huh?
have to do it
Do
first.
you
No,
do you-
I'm
do you-
just
do
taking you
you
to
want?
task, my
Do
dear.
you enjoy? Do you enjoy seeing the BOK community destroyed? Does it satisfy you?
No, my dear, because you're
It
already
does. It
destroyed.
must. It must. It must satisfy you because I don't see why
Why
it
would it
bothers you so
satisfy me?
much.
Why would it satisfy me? Maybe it does for you. I don't
Because
know.
you are a female. That's why, and that's
Yes,
why I
a
called you that from the
female.
beginning.
I breathe because
Yes.
I'm a female, right? I eat because I'm a female. I live
Everything
because I'm a
about you is a
female.
female. Yes.
But how many guys
Everything
clap your
about you,
cheeks?
your
I just want to know, like, how many
everything
guys clap
about
your?
you is why you are a female. And all you've done is come on my live and have a rant and get upset at the fact that I'm not going to bash BLK man. I'm not going to talk down on BLK man. You don't like that. You don't like the
You
fact
don't even like. Okay, you just
you don't like the
crash
fact
out.
that I want BOK people to actually come together and not listen to females like you. Yeah, it bothers you
Then go
because
to
you
your own
failed in your
country. That's what I said.
community. It bothers you.
Go to your own
It
country.
bothers you because you failed in your own
No,
community.
you're a
You
fake.
are the same female who talks about, oh, the BOK community is inferior. Meanwhile, you failed in your own community. Your own superior community, and here you are, community box. Couldn't be a wife, couldn't be a mother, just got bare men clapping them cheeks. Just on the highway
How does
getting
it
ran
feel?
through. Just on the highway getting ran through. So before you come here and start telling me
That's all
about
you
be
know.
okay this and be okay that, maybe you need to
You
figure out why
are.
you failed in your community.
No,
Do that for me, okay? You need to figure out why you failed in your community because you're not a wife, you're not a mother, you're just in the streets. And you failed so much that you wanna be in another community and bash them. It doesn't even make any sense. That's how I know. That's how I know you are a full-time community box. Because that mentality is the only place it really goes. So yeah, she was just ranting on my live, honestly. Every time I asked her, prove me wrong, prove me wrong, it goes back to, do you know in the BOK community they have the highest single mom rate? Do you know in the BOK community they have this? Okay, I know this. What now? So you just came here just to say that? So you must have thought I was gonna ride your cocktail. That's not happening. Pause. I don't like it when females from other nations are this disingenuous. And what they do is they want to make it seem like feminism is the doorway to our freedom. And this is what they want. You know, it really does bother me when you have these females, feminists from other nations saying, you should be grateful. You should be happy. Listen, feminism has done nothing for BOK women, for BOK people. But females will never want to actually see that because they love being community boxes. They love everything that sexual liberation has done for them. But to me, you prove to me that you are exactly the problem.
Wow. Just and
What you need to do is you need to figure out. You need to figure
can we
out why you
make
failed in your community, okay?
okay?
That's what you need to do. Figure out why you have no
There's
husband, why you have no
no, no,
family,
no, no.
and why in your community, with every privilege that you have, you still fail to be a
Above
wife.
you.
You don't even know what submission is. You don't submit to no man because you are a
I'm
man.
still
You
above
act like
you
the
though.
man that
I'm
you want to
still
be.
you're
And
overwhelmed.
yet no man married you. You're above
Going
me
through
and
my
you still don't have a husband.
and you're
You are
catching
above
up.
me and yet no man wanted
Like
you.
look
You are above me and
what
every
triggers
man
you, and
that
this
you
is what
come across
was my
claps
point.
your cheeks. How come you're above me but yet
Angry
you're a cum
black
bucket?
female.
How are you above me but you're a cum bucket? Like,
Angry
it doesn't make any sense. How are you above me but yet every child that
angry
claps your
black
cheeks never
female.
marries you? It doesn't make any
Because you're
sense.
all this
Make it make sense.
stereotype
You're above me and you still failed. Are you not
based.
embarrassed? Are you not embarrassed with every privilege that you have? You still failed. You're above me and yet no man wanted to marry you. You're above me yet you were still in the streets. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. It doesn't even make any sense. What you need to do is figure out why you are still a community
So
box,
just
okay?
okay, so
Do that, all right? Figure that out. Figure it out. Before you request backup, you need to figure out how with every privilege that you have, you still came out to be a community box, okay? Figure that out first. Make it make sense. I want to acknowledge a super chat. Okay, so we got the original CMC. Sent $2. Thank you. Said your streams are absolute gold, princess. Thank you. I appreciate you. I try my best. I get a lot of these triggered Fefails on here. You know, some of these Fefails, they really believe that especially these feminists, they think they're like the new gods. It doesn't even make any sense. All this autonomy, all this right. All this autonomy, all this right. And you're telling me Chad is still clapping them cheeks? All this autonomy, all this right.
obsessed with
Chad still doesn't want to marry you?
stop.
All this autonomy, all this right. And you're still a failure. You're still a failure. You got a lot of things to figure out. Okay, one last time.
Okay, hi.
Figure out why you are a community boss, okay? Good night. All right. This is officially my last thoughts. Okay. Figure out why you failed. Single moms out there, you are still the least desired. And this should be a great lesson in life that these feminist Fefails only really want to watch you fail because they failed. That's really what it is. A lot of these feminists, they also want to see you fail because they failed. She can't find a husband in her community. No man wants to have a family with her. Forever in the streets. And seeing someone else advocate for the complete opposite. Meanwhile, she can't even get it in her superior community, as she put it. Yeah, that definitely is a tough pill to swallow. Want to acknowledge a super chat. Tall Walt Johnson sent $4.99. Thank you. What is wrong with these YT Euro folks? But princess, please keep up the great work. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what's wrong with them. I honestly think they're failing, you know. The YT birth rates is the lowest it ever has been. You know, their community is slowly crashing right before their eyes, you know. Slowly, but it is crashing. And I think they see that. And there's nothing they can do about it now because all they did was push out degeneracy. So yeah, those are my last thoughts. I appreciate every single one of you. I appreciate everyone on TikTok. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you, BOK. Thank you, Iskabizzle. Thank you, Pastel. Shout out to her, my moderator. Thank you, Kuta. Billionaire. Thank you, Nomad, and everyone on YouTube as well. I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you for joining me. It has definitely been a pleasure. Don't forget on YouTube when the live stream ends, please press like. So yeah. Oh, and one last message, of course.
Wow.
Figure out why you failed in your community, okay? All right, thank you. Okay. I'm officially done. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate you. Have a good day. Have a good night. And I will be back live tomorrow. So, yes. Peace out. Bye.